Sound check 1 2 1 2. Hi Mina, Emuri da yo, the Emuri. Welcome. Thank you for waiting. 待っててくれてありがとう。Hello, hello. お待たせしました。How's everyone? Happy weekend. How's the nyakama? Did any of you guys catch the Outbreak debuts yesterday? What did you guys think? I saw some of you guys in chat actually on the Glitchers channel. もうそう昨日ね、エムリの後輩がデビューしたんですけど、見た方いるかなすごい良かったよね。Those debuts were hella stacked. Like, I've never done such a, I guess like, I've never like really done a proper debut like that before. So I was just like, wow, these girls worked really hard on this. Oh, I could not imagine doing that. Yeah, because if you guys remember, the Dreamers debut was a bit different. It was like a collab with the other 3 members. Oh, it was so fun. I was so impressed by the amount of effort and creativity. Yeah, me too. All of them were so unique. Hello. Yeah, thanks for coming, guys. Yeah, I had to do my dishes really quickly. Also, I was wondering why my room has been so hot lately. And then, well, not really like hot, but it gets warm. And then I just realized that I had my vents closed. So I opened those up. Hopefully it'll get better now. Yeah, because it's getting warmer outside now. Like in the winter, I keep them closed because it gets too hot from the heating system if I don't keep it closed. But like, yeah, I gotta remember, like, once the weather starts to get warmer, like, I gotta open it up. Vents closed, very sus. Oh my gosh. Am I late? No, I just started. Hello on YouTube, hello on Twitch. Anything above 70 is jigoku. for the temperature, yeah. I agree. I think like my comfortable zone, sorry, I'm American. I use Fahrenheit. Comfortable zone is probably 60s for sure. I think 60s. Yeah, 60s are pretty good. Yeah, once it's 70s, it gets too hot. Yeah. Yeah, lore stream time. Yeah. I didn't watch this video last week, so we're gonna watch it today. The timeline. Last week we watched videos on factions by Bricky. Today I'm gonna watch on the timeline. Yeah. Hello, welcome. Timeline time. I personally prefer to Trazin the Infinite Timeline video by Warrior 2 to Brickies, but Brickies will do as well. I haven't heard the other one. I'll look it up later. Yeah. Yeah, we watched Bricky last week, and this is the other one on the list that I see a lot of, I guess, my senpais watched as well, so that's why I pulled it. Yeah. Yeah, I know a lot of you guys commented on my VOD, so thank you so much for watching my VOD from last week and leaving all the comments. I did read all of them. There's a lot of like lore that you guys left and all other like video recommendations, so don't worry, I did see those. Yeah. I was worried an hour for each debut will be a lot, but they all did great. Yeah! They did. In fact, some of them were like, oh, I don't know if an hour is enough. But it's okay. Their 2.0 debuts are today, I think. So, yeah, I don't know if they started yet or like if it's going to be later in the day. But if you guys want to catch them. Drink some water. All right, I had my coffee. I am ready. I'm ready to learn more. Yeah, hey yo Twitch Nyakama, hello. And hey yo YouTube Nyakama. Thank you guys for being on both platforms. Bricky is apparently releasing a new Warhammer 40k video tomorrow. Whoa! Leaks! Wowee, okay, I wonder what it's gonna be on. How many 40k videos does he have anyway? I didn't even check his channel to see if there's a playlist. Yeah. Ricky's fine for newcomers. He's just a bit inaccurate at times. Also, I guess, like, another thing I heard is the lore constantly keeps getting updated, and also these videos are from like, okay, they're like, well, this one's from like a year ago, but the ones we watched last time were like, you know, a couple years ago. So like I can see why they get outdated and stuff. Yeah, we were watching Gunpla videos on Wednesday, and even in those there was some like stuff that got outdated because it's like, yeah, there's like new stuff that constantly gets released. Oh, he also has a podcast. Yeah. I have to check the VOD. Oh, okay, no worries. Thank you so much for coming. Oh, you meant the factions one. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that is up. I will say there might be an edited video out of it soon, so you could wait for that as well on the Emuri Clips channel. Yeah. There should be a video edit coming out soon. Had the editors edit one. Yeah. So if you missed the VOD for the factions from last week, yeah, they should just be cut up into videos for a future date for like part 1 and part 2. Yeah. Good to know. Yeah. Keep your eye out. Do you remember anything from last time? That is a great question. I remember a little. I remember some of the factions and like what they're like, right? I don't remember the like, I guess the really detailed stuff. But I'm like, yeah, I remember the name of the faction, sort of. Yeah, sort of, maybe. I don't know. Space Marines, Necrons, Tau, Sisters of Battle, Inquisitors. What else? What else were there? What were the buggy guys? The Tyranids. Yeah. Okay. I think this video will refresh my memory a bit. Yeah. It's such a massive lore dump. Yeah, maybe I should go back and watch my edited video as well. Has someone made Gunpla rules to play with them? What? Gunpla rules? Well, Gunpla isn't like a tabletop game, I guess. Wait. Though there's like a Gunpla card game I heard. Yeah, never mind. I don't know too much on this. Yeah, Gunpla like isn't as tabletop-y, I think, as Warhammer. Yeah. I did see a TG about a Gundam war game, but it doesn't use Gunpla. Space Elves, Space Orcs, etc. Oh yeah, Space Elves weren't in the previous video. Yeah. Space Elves. Wait, no, they were. Never mind. Sorry, I was thinking of dwarves. Space dwarves were not in the previous video. Yeah. All right. Yeah, if you guys don't know me, I'm a Gunpla fan, but for Warhammer, I am just getting into it. Well, Gundam, I kind of recently got into as well. I was actually watching an episode of G Gundam before the stream while I was washing dishes. Yeah. All right, it's time to get bricked up. That sounds oddly sexual. But hey, yeah, 40K lore timeline. Give me more lore. I have my glasses on. I have my smart person glasses on. I am ready. All right, ikuzo. Thank you everyone for coming. Let's get comfy.
In the grim darkness of the 41st millennium exists the Empire
it's a bit
of
soft.
Man, a backwards carcass of an empire comprised of many devoted forces, gigantic robot knights, religious machine cultists, and incredibly heavily armored women, most likely with sweltering abs. And one must know what those abs taste like.
Man, I didn't pause on the right time. But man, the booby armor is so good. It's so good. Abs. I like how he's going like abs, and I'm like, boobies!
And one must know what those abs taste like.
Yeah. Oh my god! Of course. I should have seen it. I should have seen it coming.
My Gamer Sups flavor is here.
What does that taste like?
Six-pack has arrived.
Sweet
A
six-pack.
delicious and refreshing cherry pineapple blend.
Ooh.
Play the sound.
Wow. Abs taste that good? Wowie.
Yes, my Bricky's official Gamer Subs flavor is here. Sweet six-pack, not only in regular energy mode, but also in caffeine-free. The cherry
I've never
pineapple
had one of
flavor
these
is not
before.
the kind of flavor that just smacks you in the face. It is light, it
guess
is refreshing,
caffeine-free
and it's one
option
of
would
those
be
things
nice.
where you sip it and you go,
Also, the
not
art is so
bad.
good.
And next thing you know, you are having your 4th refill the same
That's
day.
some nice art.
And it is available now. Link in the description.
Link
Use
in
code
description.
Bricky for 10% off your entire order. Not just for this,
Yeah,
but
abs.
for everything
Yummy.
you buy.
They
And
could
I'm
be.
not dumb. If you buy any
Slurp
of
some
these
abs.
tubs, regular, caffeine-free of my
Yeah.
sweet six-pack flavor, you will get a Muscle Girl 32-ounce shaker completely for free.
Muscle Girl 32-ounce shaker. Whoa, muscle mommy. It tastes like Sister Battle sweltering abs. Abs yummy. Yes, they could be. They could be. My coworker brings these into work, which is hilarious. Your coworker, you know, is they're showing it off, you know? Yeah. You should give them compliments if you haven't already.
There are only a couple thousand of those shakers, so get it while supplies lasts. I cannot believe we finally have this, but I told everyone, like, once you find out the flavor, you'll be like, yeah, that tracks, and damn straight does it track. Sweet six-pack available now. Code Brick.
Okay, so I'm so sorry for being bleach brained every single time, but I feel like the waifu on the purple-haired waifu here, she looks like Yoruichi. I just can't
Link
unsee
in the
Yoruichi right now.
description.
Alright, he's hydrating. He's hydrating for the video. I was thinking that too. Let's go.
The age of knowledge and enlightenment
Alright, here we go.
has ended.
Time for some Warhammer.
The age of darkness has begun.
Hello, welcome. Yeah, Bricky in the thumbnail. We're watching Bricky's videos. I watched him last week as well.
60 million years ago, there existed aliens.
I love
And these
aliens.
aliens lived short, painful lives. They belonged to radiation-stricken worlds and often died of various cancers before the age of 30. These
Okay.
aliens, the Necron tier, looked up to the stars and
Necron
found
tier.
extreme beings of real power. Beings with the ability
Is the
to
volume
create
okay,
life,
by the way, guys?
the old ones
video?
of the galaxy. They asked these old ones for help. Please cure us of our ailments. To which the old ones said, piss off. So the Necron tier gathered together and did the sensible thing. They declared war upon these old beings and were promptly beaten into the dirt.
That art is so good.
Lives. In the world of Warhammer, there is a hell. This
Volume
hell
is good?
is
Okay.
not like you and I know
Awesome.
it. It's more of an afterlife, a place where dead souls end up. This place has many names: the Imperium, the Sea of Souls, the Immaterium, and the Ether. But mostly, we just call it the Warp.
The
While you
Warp.
and
I remember that
know of
from last week.
Hell as a place of horrors and punishment, the Warp isn't really that. Not in the beginning. It's energy, but the kind of energy formed from thought and soul, psychic energy, where the dead souls of people end up in a place that is impossible to understand. No laws of reality exist. Like, time is merely a suggestion, and it is not something that can be braved easily. The Warp would be like sailing the ocean in a pirate movie. To jump from your ship would be certain death. To stay in the sea for too long on your boat.
Thank you so much for the 10 gifted subs, TGM. Arigato. Thank you, thank you. Hype Train. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hype Train level 3. Let's go. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Arigato. Oh my gosh. Yeah, nice. It used to be a nice place, yeah. I know it's not on topic, but you should watch Ricky's review on Helldivers too, as he sees various comparisons to 40k. Oh yeah, is Helldivers, okay, I don't know much about it, but is Helldivers, like, is it inspired by 40k, or is it like directly related. I've been wondering because I've been seeing like the connection here and there. I've never played the game, but you know, I was wondering if it's like directly related or it's just inspired. Yeah. Arigato. It's a mix of 40K and Starship Troopers. Oh, it's more inspired by Starship Troopers, the film. Oh, okay, so it's inspired. Gotcha. Yeah, I wasn't like sure if it's like a Warhammer 40K game or not. Okay, gotcha. I guess I would say Warhammer 40K if it was. Half and half. It's also inspired by Starship Troopers. Okay. Thanks for letting me know. All right, back to the video.
Could drive a man mad. And there are many dangerous things lurking in those depths.
A pirate's
Yet,
life
the
for
sea
me.
is not evil. It simply is. Mostly. There are more malevolent beings in those waters, areas that you do not sail towards. This would be known as the realm of chaos. The realm of chaos exists in the warp as a special area led by 3 chaos gods.
Yeah,
Khorne,
the chaos gods.
the god of
I remember.
combat, murder, and slaughter, with a pile of skulls taken in his name. Tzeentch, god of change, mystery, and deceit, a confusing paradox of lies, schemes, and sorceries. And Nurgle, god of rot, pestilence, and Genshin impact.
Wait,
all
what?
things rot.
I don't get it.
In the end. And Grandfather Nurgle is waiting for you.
I also
with
haven't
open
played
arms.
Genshin.
These gods ruled their respective realm in the warp, sending their many followers against each other in the great game to be the most powerful of all the gods. So the warp exists. Hell is real, parallel to our galaxy, with the realm of chaos and its gods fighting for control. But there are also gods of real space, gods of the normal
I know the soundtrack.
world too. They're called Catan, and they
Mario?
eat stars.
You think God stays in heaven because he too lives in fear of what he's created?
These star gods saw the plight of our poor Necron tier.
I remember the Inquisitors destroyed stars, but these guys eat them. What?
How the old ones cast them aside and said, you know what? You guys want immortality? Oh, we will make it happen. We are the gods of the tangible, of real space. We can give you a cure. So then they ate all their souls.
Yummy!
And turned them into robotic automaton, feasting on their souls and leaving a hollow shell of an intelligence left that is technically immortal. With the power of an entire species' souls, they turned their new robotic slaves on the old ones and hunted them to extinction. The Necron tier, now the soulless, undying Necrons, got their wish at the price of their souls.
The Necrons were so
count the number of kind gods on an amputated hand. With time, the selfish star gods turned on each other, fighting one another for more chances at glory and power. With this, the leader of the Necrons, Zarek, the Silent King, the man who doomed his species when he accepted this deal, waited.
My bad. Inquisitors destroy planets, not stars. It's a different Necron technology. Okay. Thanks for correcting me. Yes, planets and stars are different. True.
And bide his time until he seized the perfect moment and turned his legions of undead citizens against the star gods. Gods cannot be killed, but they can be broken.
He looks like
so
the Grim
Zarek
Reaper.
broke the star gods into thousands of pieces and locked them away in vaults, taking their free will away as they did to them, and sealed them away as basically
sweet
Pokemon
revenge.
to be used as weapons in the future.
I love revenge.
It's Pikachu!
It's the voice.
No! I thought it was
Zarek
Pikachu!
then, with his perfect memory, exiled himself for his sins, flying out to the darkness between galaxies to atone for what he had done. This entire situation, the genocide of the Old Ones and the rebellion of Zarek, will go down in history as the War in Heaven. It is the most brutal war the galaxy has ever seen and ever will see. This was a conflict that took an entire galaxy-spanning species and pitted them against gods that ate stars. The Necrons, rather crippled from, you know, the War in Heaven, decide to go to sleep in gigantic tomb worlds on
like,
various planets until the upstart species of the galaxy died out. And So turns out when you have a war that lasts tens, hundreds, hundreds of thousands of years and involves the genociding of multiple species, the old ones of the galaxy, and the consumption of souls from an entire race, the warp gets a little wacky. You know,
the warp. Oh my gosh, what is this image? Yes, the Catan. I love how they trusted a guy named the Deceiver. Wait, his name was literally the Deceiver? That's so silly. I don't know if it was mentioned and I just missed it, or wow. Can't believe they trusted someone named that. Maybe they didn't understand what it meant, you know? Yeah, they're just a little eepy.
If you had a kiddie pool and it was nice and calm, Khorne is over there splashing about, so you don't really go in that direction. Nurgle has explosive diarrhea, so you don't really go in that direction either. But you can still kind of get in the pool. The pool's still fine. Turns out, when you add a couple trillion souls to that kiddie pool, it'll make the waves a little more turbulent. And turns out, a lot of them like to pick a side, Nurgle, Tzeentch, or Khorne. So the once calmer warp, the once relaxing kiddie pool, has now been bloated. 1,000,000 years of war will certainly make Khorne, god of murder and slaughter, more powerful. 1,000,000 years of war will probably make Tzeentch, god of deception and change, a little more powerful. And good God, 1,000,000 years of war will make Nurgle, god of decay, just the tiniest bit more powerful. Now, entering that kiddie pool is no longer fun, it's dangerous. The warp is now a problem. Hell is...
Would you guys enter the kiddie pool? Not willingly, right? It's like, I'll probably stay away.
Resembling hell a lot closer to what we imagined it originally. The Sea of Souls and the Realm of Chaos are now intertwined. So who else to brave the galaxy than a species that won't need to deal with that?
Oh. The sound effect. Oh my god. Takes me back. What a throwback. And an Age of the Elder. The 40k kiddie pool? Hell no. Yeah, hell no. For the 40k universe is just misery. Yeah, the most diabolical kiddie pool in history. Yeah, you thought kiddie pools couldn't get worse. I can't think of a setting whose fans want to live in it less than 40k. Yeah, I don't think 40k is supposed to make us want to be in 40k, you know? Fun fact, one Katanga destroyed, but as a result of its destruction, it created the Flayer virus. Oh no, which turns Necrons into something called Flayed Ones, which hunger for flesh, but they cannot eat. Oh, wow, that sounds like zombies, but worse. Wow. We in the fandom have a joke. We don't wish to join and live in the universe. Of course not. Why would you want to live in this? You kind of just like, you know, from an outsider perspective, it's like, whoa, cool, bloodshed, murder, you know, but like, you don't want to actually be in it. You know, that's a power of fiction, right?
The Eldar are space elves. They have a lot of the traits that you probably think of when you think of elves. Tall, slender, pointy ears, bit more androgynous looking, no matter what DeviantArt will tell you, and a bit stronger on the emotional side. The old ones, as I mentioned, could create life. And when they were getting, you know, absolutely bodied by the Catan and the Necrons, they made some new races to try to help them. One of them was the Eldar. It didn't save them, but they're here now anyway. Oh, and also the Orcs, but they're busy right now.
Unga bunga. Orcs are busy unga bungaing. What game is it?
The Eldar are a particularly psychically powerful race, so they were really adept at being able to handle the new turbulent warp of chaos and good at killing Necrons, hence why they went to sleep. Being psychically gifted is basically like being a wizard, but you get your wizard powers from hell.
I love the meme
images. This is called
images.
Being a psyker. And basically, if you want to do cool wizard shit like lightning from your hands or reading someone's mind, you can do that, but you siphon the energy.
Would you guys want to read minds? I don't know. I think I'd be too scared. That power seems like it can be a heavy burden.
to do that from the warp. Luckily, the Eldar
Yeah,
are
hell
very
powers.
good at handling this without too many negative effects because, you know, summoning power from the Sea of Souls with the new Chaos friends can be a bit of an issue. But Eldar are pretty good at it. And you see, what's really cool and also awful about Warhammer is that most developed species travel long, faster than light distances by going through that warp. They create a tear in reality to unreality and move through it. Faster than light travel? Cringe. We go through hell itself to deliver your packages. For those of you who play Minecraft, you know how the Nether is like a pocket dimension? So moving 10 spaces in the Nether is actually moving something like 1,000 in the real world. That's basically what warp travel is. Just much like in the Nether, there are a lot of things that want to kill you. The Eldar found a way to do so in between realities. Not regular reality, not the warp, something else.
Oh, yeah.
A purgatory of sorts. A fabricated psychic realm that allowed them to travel without fearing the negative effects of the warp. The Eldar were the perfect fit for the new galaxy.
They made their own thing?
Took it with open arms and pointy ears. The empire of the Eldar spread everywhere, and it spread all the way until now. The 21st century. That's right. While you were watching NPC streams on TikTok, the space elves were ruling the galaxy, and they did so for quite a long period of time.
Wow, guys, what am I doing with my life? I could be contributing to ruling the galaxy, and instead I'm watching videos at my desk. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for following. I appreciate it. What's up? We're watching more Warhammer 40k lore videos. Yeah. Read a VN recently with a girl that could read minds. She went off the deep end, to say the least. Yeah, I feel like it's never good. There's actually a visual novel. Sorry, I'm gonna deviate a bit. There's a visual novel coming out in English. I think it's next month. Yeah, it's the end of this month. It's really soon. It's being released in English from Japanese soon, and I'm really excited for it because it's about a guy. So the protagonist is able to read minds, and the UI, I guess, or like the way the game looks is really interesting because when you're talking to other characters in the game, you can see their thoughts like pop up on the sides. So I'm like, how are they gonna like make that into English? Also, it's a revenge porn game, so just a heads up. So you can see how that's gonna go down. It's not gonna be happy, you know? Anyway, I'm really excited for it. Okay, back to Warhammer.
The 21st century came and went. Humanity grew and grew all under the nose of their elf overlords.
It's Mojika.
At this time,
you got it.
Advanced your classic sci-fi style way. We began to expand, colonize our solar system, terraformed our planets, created new and more powerful machines and starships. The Age of Terra, also known as Earth, but we call it Terra here, was here and existed between the 21st century all the way until the 15th.
Don't call it Earth, call it Terra. Calling it Earth is cringe.
Millennia. Not much is known about this time. Not much needs to be known. Humanity grew up, sought the stars. It's classic. Then came the years between 15,000 and 25,000, the age of technology.
Yay,
or to some,
tech.
the dark age of technology. This is when humanity reached a new apex of technological understanding. When you think of sci-fi, there's a lot of things you can think of. Star Trek, maybe Star Wars style. You can go cyberpunk dystopian. The age of technology was deep sci-fi, like a scientific prowess that fringed on magic. This is also when the first ever Psykers began showing up in humanity. Individuals with the genetic mutation to be able to access the warp, and then because of that, travel through it. Humanity was no longer constricted to their early ways of travel. With warp travel, they could go anywhere in the galaxy. They equipped ships with gigantic AI machines with everything you would ever need to know about mankind and sent them out on colony ships to expand their influence across the galaxy. And this was truly the golden age of humanity. And with every golden age, there is a fall. While the new human upstarts of the galaxy were reaching new levels of technology and prowess, the Eldar were engaging
that reference.
Debauchery!
Debauchery!
What happens
My ears.
when a species has everything? You can produce unlimited food out of nothing. Your need for farmers and workers, gone. You have dominated the stars and have created a fast travel system that doesn't rely on the dangers of the warp. You have nothing else to do.
Yeah.
You have no struggles.
You're gonna
no
get bored.
And feel as if there is nowhere else to go. Well, you begin to experiment. The Eldar started harmless enough. You know, you take a serious interest in your species.
They got so bored. They got so bored of having everything that they started to become more evil.
Culture, your arts, paintings, poems, plays. These are Eldar, elves, remember? Their emotions are heightened, more powerful than us humans. So your plays get louder. They start to push on the limits of your hearing ability. Your music becomes different, more deranged. It pushes the boundaries of what is art. The visual spectacle of art becomes more bizarre, more delusional, more eccentric. And let's not forget a very important sense. Touch. Pornography is one thing.
Oh.
Brothels is another. What if they all mixed? What if your brothels were part of your art and music? And what if those became more deranged? The boundaries of debauchery were not just met, but shattered. Next.
They need to be entertained. Also, thank you so much. Zach Cock, is that how you pronounce your name? Striker, thank you so much for the 5 gift memberships. Arigato. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for another 5 gifted memberships. Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you for the 10. Arigato. I appreciate it. For the sake of the watch along, I'm gonna mute the alerts actually, but thank you very much. Give me just a second. Okay, let me know if that worked. Is it muted now? Yeah. Yeah, just so it's not like overlapping with the video too much. Imagine if you had no problems to solve and had every luxury from birth, but you also had to live for thousands of years. Yeah, I guess you would get bored. You'd be like, this is torture in its own way. Another 5 gifted memberships. Thank you so much. Arigato. Thank you for the 15. Let me put the alerts down here. I appreciate it. Thank you. So what if they undergooned a god into being? We all make mistakes. They goon too hard. I remember this lore from last week. Yeah, they goon too hard. Not just long-lived, literally immortal. They would die and be reborn with their old memories. Oh, damn, it's kind of crazy. Yeah, that's too broken. They needed to be nerfed somehow, right?
You know, murder is commonplace and often mixed with the art, music, and sex. Pain is a common byproduct of entertainment. Whatever sensation you can have must be increased, must be enhanced, must be taken to the limits.
Yeah, and then they heighten all their senses, I think. And yeah, for 50 memberships slash subs, I will build a 40k model on stream. Yeah! Thank you.
Eldar Empire slipped into a nightmarish realm of
I think we're at 25
and
now.
excess, with the worst of it taking place in a city in the Webway, a black market for these kinds of heinous acts known as Kamara. Some Eldar saw the writing on the wall, saw what was happening to their species and how far they had slipped. So they boarded continent-sized starships called craft worlds and left their empire, seeking a more enlightened, calmer existence among their peers. Some, those in Kamara, pushed it to even greater heights, relishing the pain and torment they inflicted on those around them. All during this, the warp, the yin to the yang of the world, was fed by these emotions, by the psychic power of the Eldar, by the souls taken in these depraved acts on a galactic scale. And
listen, peace and happiness is boring. It is. What is the fun in that, especially in the Warhammer 40k universe? Also, I just realized I think my channel is at 900 memberships now. Thank you. I think that means we unlock a new emote. I'll put in like a placeholder image later. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yay. This is on YouTube, by the way, for YouTube. Thank you. Let's go. 900. Let's go. Thank you so much. That's crazy. Thank you, Nyagama. Yeah, I'm gonna. I didn't think I'd have to think about emotes this soon. Thank you.
Just like that, Eldar ended. Slaanesh, the fourth chaos god, was birthed into existence.
Is that a pee-pee? I don't know. I can't tell.
Consuming the souls of 90% of the Eldar population. Those that fled were spared the worst of it, and those in the Webway and Kamara were able to stave off the pull of Slaanesh so long as they continued to commit horrid acts of torture and violence. But for the majority of the Eldar, their empire died with Slaanesh's birth. The new fourth chaos god, she who thirsts, the god of unspeakable excess of pleasure, pain, hedonism, and perfection,
sex
had
and party.
been born. With the fall of the Eldar Empire came the ruin of humanity. Slaanesh's birth sent storms in the warp across the galaxy.
Slaanesh does have both, for the record. Oh, so it was a PP. PP and whatever else Slaanesh feels like having.
Making travel between star systems impossible. Coupled with a huge classic AI rebellion, as a staple in these sci-fi settings, humanity began to suffer the age of strife. Now, planets that relied on intergalactic travel were completely cut off. Long-range messages, normally sent through the warp, were snuffed out. If you were a planet that was great at mining stuff, but couldn't get food, well, you know that movie about the rugby players in the mountains? Oh, and because of these insane warp storms and fluctuations, Psykers began to appear among the human population a bit more often. Now, this initially had them hunted down as witches, because that's pretty common in this setting, but some deemed it right to protect them.
The witch.
Unfortunately for those people, Psykers, because they open a gateway to the warp, don't really know how to use their powers well, and they kind of attract demons, who then force their way through the Psyker as a conduit of sorts and begin to slaughter the population of your planet. The Age of Strife was a catastrophic period of time for humanity and set back their progress tenfold over the not one, not two, but 5,000-year period. During this time, the age of humanity that we know began to form. Worlds equipped with large mechs for agriculture began to equip them with weapons to defend from alien and demonic invaders. Over 5,000 years, this became a custom and tradition, dubbing them as Night Worlds, a feudal society of honor-bound knights in gigantic robots that uphold the chivalric code to defend their worlds and honor. A group of individuals on Mars, after radioactively bombing their planet to become inhospitable to human life, ran their entire lives underground on the few life support systems keeping them alive.
They became mole people. Yeah, giant robot tractors with guns. Yeah, I love giant robots. I love mechs. The fanfic is called Hellraiser. Oh, what? Never heard of it. The moral planets that protected the Psykers ended up getting the bad ending. She's also my god I worship-ish. You worship Slaanesh? Oh boy. Knights are the one addition to the lore that I don't think anyone really has an issue with. Everyone likes giant mechs. Yeah! Of course. Who doesn't like giant cool mechs? Oh, it's a movie. Okay, old horror movie. Gotcha. Yeah, the Walking Cathedral.
technicians who could work on the machines and keep them operational were revered, and over 5,000 years went from skilled members of society to full-blown priests. The cult Mechanicus, or tech priests of Mars, formed in the ashes of the Red Planet with a religious fervor and doctrine on the cult of the machine god. And on Earth, or Terra, techno-barbarian tribes waged war across the planet in a Mad Max style.
That was Earth / Terra? Oh, damn. Looks like Mars now. Oh, you guys call them the toaster cult? I like that. I'm so glad I have a knight as an allied unit and my Sisters of Battle arm. I love Sisters of Battle. Their designs are really cool too. Someone stole all the water, rip. The oceans kind of went to Narnia. All the oceans dried up because of massive amounts of people. Wow. Where do I kind of remember this being another work of fiction. Was it Now and They're Here Now? Wait, that is not what it was called. It's the isekai. It's a quote unquote OG isekai anime. Yeah. I think that also had a setting where like the Earth was kind of like, or whatever planet they're on was sort of like this, like where there was like really no water and it was drying up and everyone was suffering and miserable. Yeah.
Or Terra. Techno-barbarian tribes waged war across the planet in a Mad Max style of blood and gore, until finally, a mysterious man who lived in the shadows of Terra for millennia finally revealed himself to the populace.
Who could that be? And yeah, it was called Here and There Now and Then. Thank you, Archer. I can never remember the name. I get it wrong every single time. All right, here we go.
His name was the Emperor.
The Emperor!
He deemed himself the Emperor of mankind. Where did he come from? I don't know. Why is he 10 feet tall and the most powerful psyker of all of mankind? I don't know. Why is he...
He looked so nice before he, I guess, died?
I don't know. Why is he...
That would make sense, actually. Well, he didn't really die, but, you know, like, he lost his human form, right, eventually? Yeah, look at this guy. He looks so good. Also, it's interesting that in the factions video, I think Bricky started with the Emperor. Now we're talking about the Emperor, like timeline wise, he's relatively recent, I guess. Yeah. Saying he died is heresy. I'm sorry. He didn't die. He's alive. I am not a heretic. Yeah.
Feet tall and the most powerful psyker of all of mankind? I don't know. Why is he basically immortal? I don't know. Where'd Cont and Joe go? Who knows? But he's here, and he isn't happy with all of you ripping up Terra. So he began the Unification Wars, where he and a very early version of the famous Space Marines, the Thunder Warriors, reunited Terra under a single banner. With blood. Then, after taking over Earth, he reunited the Thunder Warriors into the fucking dirt. This is where we get the Imperium of Man, also known as the Imperium. The new faction headed by the Emperor of Mankind, with a treaty signed with the cult Mechanicus on Mars to spread out and reunite humanity after the catastrophic Age of Strife. But first, the Emperor is going to need some smaller versions
I like
of
that
himself.
chibi art.
20 of them. 18 of them, I meant. Gene-crafted sons of the strongest human to ever live. All of them possess unparalleled strategic power, intelligence, formidable strength and size. A real powerful force to unite humanity and stop the chaos of the current galaxy.
Oh, wait. The Emperor is really old? The Emperor in 40K is 48K years old? What? Damn. What? How does one live that long? I don't get it. The guy was already thousands of years old before any of this? I see. And yeah, he is currently a skeleton on a life support machine.
Speaking of chaos, you ever seen that image of that guy?
Oh my gosh.
Throwing the baby like a basketball?
Where the baby going?
The Chaos Gods intervened and grabbed the 18 Primarch gestation pods and yeeted them across the galaxy at a whim, everywhere they could possibly go. A galactic game of keep away. So the Emperor had to get them back. So begins
13 Sentinels.
The Great Crusade. A crusade across the stars to reunite not just humanity, but the Emperor with his fallen sons. The first to be found was Horus. One of the strongest and most noble sons, the Emperor carried with him a legion of newly crafted warriors with genetic material made from their Primarch father. These are the newly made Space Marines. For Horus, his were the Luna Wolves. And as the Emperor continued on his great crusade, he found more and more of his sons, reuniting them with their individual Space Marine legions. Leman Russ, the cunning hunter with the Space Wolves. Rogel Dorm, the Phalanx with the Imperial Fists. Angron, the Barbarian,
love all the different
the very angry
Space
with
Marines.
his World Eaters. Fulgrim, the Perfect with his Emperor's
Purple,
children.
they look
And
nice.
Jagatai Khan, the Swift, the Stoic, and his white scars. Those were just some of the 18, and one by one his lost Primarch sons were returned to him.
Didn't I use that art on the thumbnail? Wait, no, I didn't.
Just some of the 18.
I was gonna though.
And one by one his lost...
I used different art of the salamanders. Yeah. I remember the green boy. The purple guys aren't nice. Okay, but like, are any of them nice? This is Warhammer 40k. Are any of them really? Can you really call them nice? You know. JQ, thank you so much for the raid on Twitch. Arigato. Hope you had a good stream. Hello. I'm Emuri, the cat-loving housewife from Glitchlight Streamers. I like to play the violin, build gunpla, and play visual novels. I am learning more about 40k today. Warhammer 40k. Hello. Thank you again. Salamanders are the closest to nice, I think. Yeah? Salamanders are nice as long as you're a human. So they're racist. Yeah, I guess by 40k standards, yeah. Maybe we could call them sort of nice. I don't know. Just you know. Yeah, everyone is racist in 40k. That is true. I like purple too. My Sisters of Battle have purple armor. That's so nice. Yeah, I associate Sisters of Battle with red, but I'm guessing like, you know, if you're building a model kits, like you could paint them whatever color you want. Purple sounds really nice on them.
Primarch sons were returned to him, and their Space Marine legions returned to them.
Sorry, yeah, the right word is xenophobic. Yeah, everyone's xenophobic. Yeah, in 40k. Yeah, as long as you're not an elder child, you're cool to the salamanders.
Great Crusade saw humanity once again reconquer the stars, returning worlds of humanity back to the Imperium and killing any and all who stood against their noble crusade. But in the years of the 31st millennia, treachery would break this all apart.
Horus Heresy.
Horus, the Emperor's most beloved and favored sons, named War Master for the Crusade, succumbed to the power of chaos.
Was he
and
the one that
daddy
betrayed?
Issues, all because of that bastard Erebus. Yo, fuck Erebus. Slowly, Horus would become corrupted, turning the Emperor's sons against him.
Yeah,
this begins the most pivotal moment in our story, and the one that has like 50 books written about it, the Horus Heresy. 9 of the 18 Primarchs turned against the Emperor, and the following years were a bloody battle for the throne of Terra. The Emperor originally was working on a special webway project, just like the Eldar, to make fast and light travel significantly easier and safer.
How did he grow so big?
Improve humanity to allow them to conquer the stars without the risk of the warp. Well, this big red idiot named Magnus kind of blew a hole into that. Literally and figuratively. So Big E over there is stuck on a gigantic golden throne, holding back the oncoming rush of demons and powering the Astronomicon. Basically
the Astronomicon. I think we're up to a little over 60 Horus Heresy books now. 60? It's like 60 books now, I think. What? Who's writing these? Is it a group of people or is it one guy? Because holy shit, that is a lot of books. Yeah. Sheesh.
Big North Star for people who are sailing in the warp to help them navigate. The Horus Heresy saw many loyalist and traitor legions pitted against each other
a bunch of different
in a
authors?
bloody
I
war
see.
until it reached Terra
That would make
itself.
more sense.
Horus, unable to break through the
still a lot of
lines
work,
and
though.
with time running out, made a gambit and opened his ship up to be boarded. The Emperor took this challenge quickly allowing someone else to take control of the throne as he teleported his way onto Horus's flagship, the Vengeful Spirit. The Emperor, unable to truly kill his most beloved son, changed his mind right quick.
Emperor, you're weak. You're weak. You can't even kill your own son. How dare he let the emotions take over? Zephyr, thank you for coming. Arcade has 100 people in it playing anime fighters. Ew, anime. Oh, is today a tournament day? What game is it for? Let's go. Came here for 40k save for Peter Laugh. No, what do you mean? JK, I can't hear anything. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's no Peter Laugh here. Thank you for coming. All because he believed his illiterate son instead of the nerd. You know, that sounds fun. That sounds fun. Yeah, it does. The arcade. It's good there's a lot of people.
When Horus strangled the life out of his other son, Sanguinius.
Rip Sanguinius.
I'm sure you've seen this image at some point. The Emperor then said,
have I seen that image? Let me go back real quick.
I'm sure you...
Maybe in the previous video? I don't remember. Yeah. Looks cool, though. Yeah.
You've seen this image at some point. The Emperor then said, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, and proceeded to psychically blast Horus into complete oblivion, killing not only his body, but also his soul. Horribly wounded from this duel, the Emperor is returned to the Golden Throne in order to keep the demons at bay and power the Astronomicon, because without it, humanity would be flying blind. There, he sits, slowly dying from his wounds and the strain of powering the Golden Throne.
A skeleton
the only thing keeping him alive is...
I know this art. I've seen this one around a lot.
Feeding upon the souls of 1,000 Psykers every single day. This was 10,000 years ago. We are now...
Oh my gosh, yeah. 10,000 years ago. So is Horus just like, was Horus obliterated? Like he's just gone now? Started at 1,000 souls a day, but we're up to 4,000 souls a day now. He gets hungrier and hungrier.
In the 41st millennium, modern day, Warhammer 40,000.
Oh, we made it! We made it to Warhammer 40,000. Wow, that's a lot of lore. That doesn't matter much. Also, if you want to know how bad Magnus screwed up a series called Mistakes of the Emperor will be very enlightening. Okay. There's also a neat little self-destruct in the Golden Throne. In case he does truly bite it, it was put by the Vulcan and it will essentially take out all of Terra. Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
The Emperor remains on his throne. The Imperium is a rotting carcass of an empire, a fascist, xenophobic cult that worships the Emperor as a deity despite him never wanting to be seen as a god.
Was that the Sisters of Battle? I don't know. Hard to tell. Maybe not. What videos has she watched so far? Just got here. So last week I watched Warhammer 40k Factions Explained by Bricky. I watched part 1 and part 2, and today I am watching Warhammer 40k timeline of the 40k lore by Bricky. But I might watch some other videos after this as well, since we're almost done with this one.
The span of 1 million worlds, the ecclesiarchy, the church of the Emperor, is spread throughout. Inquisitors with unparalleled power root out any sign of heresy or lack of devotion to their god Emperor. The other half of the traitor legions move about as Chaos Space Marines, raiding and pillaging the Imperium, while the loyalist half does their best to keep the Empire alive. All throughout this, they must endure orc invasions, Eldar trickery, the reawakening of the Necron race, and the Great Devourer, the newest tyrannid threat from the darkness between galaxies that has arrived to feast on their worlds. The theme of Warhammer 40,000 is regression and intolerance. Every major faction in Warhammer has had an empire that spanned the galaxy only to be crushed back to a hollow shell of what they once were due to their own
It's all
failings.
doom and gloom.
Culture, the arts, personal freedom, religious tolerance, the simple possibility that alien life might not want to kill us is considered heretical and is often met with a pistol to the head. There is no time for these things. All there is time for is worship of the God Emperor and a million wars to be fought. To be a human in the 41st
really
millennia is 99% of the time to live a horrible existence. To be one of trillions of other humans across a million worlds throughout the galaxy. A galaxy where AI is outlawed, so humans are repurposed and lobotomized to become slaves. A place where lack of devotion is met with death. And if you even have devotion, there's a good chance the threats to the galaxy, chaos, and aliens will kill you anyway. Warhammer is a world where you revel in being bad. There are protagonists. There are antagonists.
Being good
but
is boring.
Every faction is some shade of evil. Because playing the bad guys is always more fun. And my friend, you have a selection. So pick up that lasgun soldier. You and the other 3 million men and women in this single deployment on this single world in this single battle will now show them the might of the God Emperor. That weapon in your hands has killed 99% of the alien populations in this galaxy. Unfortunately for you, soldier, you're fighting the final 1%. May the Emperor be with us. Glory to the first man to die.
Glory.
For in the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war.
I mean, it lives up to its name. It's about war. I think we finished. Oh, almost done. Now we got the cool montage. Did we finish it?
Thank you, everyone. I hope I have helped teach you about Warhammer. If you are a brand new person and you want to get a bit more about the world, there are multiple books that do a great job at showing off how the entire universe operates.
Imagine reading.
For the most part, Warhammer is a setting, and often stories are told in that setting with a Warhammer coat of paint. Gaunt's Ghosts is Band of Brothers, but Warhammer. It's honestly one of my #1 recommendations for new people. Assassinorum Kingmaker is an assassin novel involving those night worlds.
Oh my gosh,
this is
literature.
Mission Impossible, but Warhammer. Bloodlines is Blade Runner, but Warhammer. And the list goes on and on. If I had to recommend a brand new novel for a first-time Warhammer enjoyer, these are the 4 I would recommend. Horus Rising, Caiaphas Cain, First and Only Gaunt's Ghosts, and Infinite and the Divine.
Is it time I get back into reading? Is this what's gonna do it?
They are all fantastic novels, and they will get you acquainted with the world without needing to know too much. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Get yourself a Gamer Subs flavor.
Have you guys read any of
Enjoy
those
the
books?
new sweet 6-pack. And if you're curious and you want, you know, just a little lord, you can find him in the description as well on my merchandise store, orchid8.com. Thank you for watching, and may the God Emperor be with us.
Yeah, thank you, Bricky. Let me go back to the books. I kind of want to...
And the list goes...
I want to pause at the books real quick. Yeah. I read Horus Rising. It was pretty good. Yeah. Infinite and Divine is very, very good. Currently rereading it. Okay. Yeah, I'm curious. And you know, I was thinking yesterday, like with how like my Kohai's Outbreak, they released their debut merch and they released like these really nice looking metal bookmarks. And I was thinking to myself, wow, I want those bookmarks, but I haven't been reading lately. Maybe I'll get it and use it when I read Warhammer. I should really read. I need to exercise my brain a little bit more. Yeah, that was a cool video. I love Warhammer. The lore is so dumb and stupid that it loops right back around to awesomeness. Such a unique charm. Yeah. I like how it's all like fight. It is very cool. You might like the Adeptus Sororitas. Oh, is that the Sisters of Battle? Yeah, I do like them. I put them on my YouTube thumbnail. I put the Salamanders and the Sisters of Battle on my thumbnail. Yeah. I haven't read any of those, but I have read 13th Legion and Kill Team, which are about the Last Chancellors. Okay. Yeah. Read all 4 of these. All 4 of those are solid books. Gotcha. All right. Perhaps I shall read. Yeah, Sisters of Battle have a few books and audio plays too. Audio plays might be really nice. Honestly, audiobooks, because I do chores a lot. Like, I cook a lot, and, when I'm like doing chores, like cleaning or like stuff, cooking, I like listening to things. So if I could have something I could just listen to while I work, I think that'd be really nice. Oh, and all of these books are also on Audible as audiobooks. Okay, awesome. Yeah, I think I'll get the audiobooks. That might be better just because, like, I try to multitask when I can. The audiobook quality is top tier, yeah? Okay, maybe I shall read. Yeah, I shall listen to the audiobooks. The VA for Raphael from Baldur's Gate 3 reads the Night Lords trilogy audiobooks. What? Oh my gosh, Raphael. I've been playing Baldur's Gate 3 with my friends off stream, and we killed him. Yeah, we killed Raphael. He was such a bitch. Oh my god, he was so hard to deal with, but yeah, we got him, boys. He does have a nice voice. Yeah. The Infinite and the Divine is supposedly extremely funny. Yeah. The voice acting is amazing in the Infinite and the Divine audiobook. The voice actor even visited Bricky's podcast. Oh, okay. Definitely, I'm gonna check out these audiobooks then. Oh, yeah, that's a good way to know how to pronounce lots of the names of people and locations. True, I would probably struggle with that without having someone like telling me how to pronounce it. Joe Mama, thank you for the super sticker. Arigato, thank you. Thanks so much. After Warhammer 40k, would you be interested to Warhammer Fantasy? I am kind of interested, actually. Yeah, like I'm interested to see how it like differs. I've already heard bits and parts about it. The only reason like I started with Warhammer 40k is because it seemed like, I guess I saw it around more, so it was like more like just like yeah, I've seen this around, so I guess we could start with 40k. But I'm interested about fantasy as well. Yeah. Yeah, it's more mainstream, exactly. So I was kind of just like more exposed to it, so I was like, yeah, this would be like an easy starting point, but like, yeah, I am still interested in the other stuff. Yeah. Alright, next video I was gonna watch. Okay, so here's the thing, I'm really interested in the tabletop. Like, I think I want to watch more videos about the tabletop as well, now that we've like kind of like watched stuff on the lore. So I'm gonna watch this one next, and yeah. I think there's another video in my recommended right now called Things I Wish I Knew Before Starting Warhammer. I'm interested in this one too. Let me just open it here real quick. Is this video good, guys? Has anyone seen this one? Just came up in my recommends, and I'm like, ayo. On a budget. Cool. And I see like, yeah, look, as someone that comes from Gunpla, I'm really interested in the model kits, right? Yeah, it's a great channel. Okay, I'll keep this open as well. This is a short video, I think we could watch it after we watch the faction/army video. Holy base, is anybody gonna play the tabletop? I need people to play with. Maybe in since the other Glitch Stars girls are like getting into Warhammer 40k, maybe we could like, if it's in tabletop simulator, maybe we could play it there. I don't know if it is, but yeah, I'm interested in the game. Yeah. Okay, gotcha. Squigmar is good. Squidmar, I said Squigmar, I meant to say Squidmar. Okay, cool, I'll keep that open then. It is in tabletop sim. Let's go. I need to get together with the Glitch Stars girlies and play. Yeah, tabletop sim game night. That would be so fun. Yeah, so I'm gonna watch this video on The best faction slash army to start with. I honestly don't know what I'd want to play yet. So let's see what this tells me. Rip Wallet, watch a few videos on how to save money on Warhammer. Okay, gotcha. Don't worry, I have company budget. Yeah. I could use that a little, perhaps. And also Tabletop Simulator. You know, if we play on Tabletop Simulator, then we don't have to get the physical kits. Yeah. I still want to try building the physical kit, but there's also other games. There's like actual games, like, well, not tabletop games. Like there's like the online games, like digital games like Space Marines and stuff that I also want to try playing. Yeah, painting stream maybe. Yeah. If I hit 50 membership / subs, I will build a 40k mod on stream and try painting it. I think we're at 25 so far. Yeah. Actually, I should probably track it here. Give me a second. And then we shall watch the video. I think we're at 25. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. Yeah, Space Marine 2, a rogue trader. For reference, I think I've spent approximately 4,500 euros on the hobby in the past 2.5 years. Oh my gosh. Wait, you must have a cool collection then. Damn, I want to see your collection. 4,500. I've already spent like quite a bit on Gunpla. And I got into Gunpla like last year. It's so over for my wallet. Dark Tide is a really cool 40k game, yeah? Also, I was wondering, where do you guys display your Warhammer? Like, to those of you guys that have built Warhammer 40k kits, where do you guys display them? Because I've noticed, like, it's like, you know, usually like a lot of like figures that come in one set, and I'm like, damn, like, how do you guys like, I don't know, probably just like on a shelf or something, but I'm like thinking like there's a nice way to display them. Shoebox, okay. Shelves and display cases. I guess if you don't have space, the shoebox is a good idea. On my shelf next to my Gunpla. I think that's what I will do. I'll just like lump them together. Rogue Trader is a Baldur's Gate-like game. Okay, noted. We call Warhammer plastic crack furries. I have a dedicated shelf for it. Nice. The army sits in a box, but my leader unit sits on a shelf. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, because there's like so many, like, when you start to build your army, there's like just so many little guys. Yeah. I do have a pretty big collection. I have 6 armies, and each of them have enough models that I could field 2 or 3 armies. My Daemons is my biggest collection, which is 10,000 points. So I can field 5 armies. Oh. What is Age of Sigmar? Is that another different Warhammer thing? Oh. So there's Warhammer 40k, there's Warhammer Fantasy, and Warhammer Age of Sigmar? Yeah. Alright, let's watch this video. What is the best Warhammer 40k faction army to start with? Also a video by Bricky.
I must say the support on my prior Warhammer video has been, to put it lightly, absolutely outstanding.
And this one's from 4 years ago.
That well, maybe 3 to 4 years. And it's also a breath of fresh air to be able to make a video on something on a whim, on Warhammer, a, while very popular game, not a game that I ever really made videos on, and to have it perform as well as it does. You know, YouTube and the YouTube world doesn't like change very much, so it is incredibly heartwarming.
Yeah.
But with that, it also...
I'm glad those videos did well. Yeah. This video is from 4 years ago. So I guess the timeline one we saw was more recent than one we just watched. Yeah, so I think space dwarves are not going to be in this video just because this is from 4 years ago. Yeah. There might be some other stuff that's outdated. Let me know. Bricky also talks about his tourney experience. Oh, I want to watch a video. What is it called? I want to know what the tourneys are like. I saw he had a video on the world's biggest Warhammer event. Is that what it is? Maybe he has other videos too, though. All right.
Also came with a question that was always being asked to me ever since making that video. Hey Bricky, what army should I play?
Yeah,
so
what
for
army?
this, my next major Warhammer video, I'm going to answer that question. I'm going to go over all the different kinds of armies just like we went with the main video, except instead of lore, we're going to be going through the different various ways of collecting the army, as in not only price-wise, but how many models you're going to need, how new or old the model scopes are, and we're going to be going over the play styles of each army respectively. Are they melee? Are they shooting? Are they a little bit of both?
I want to know.
Elite armies with only 20 models on the battlefield, or horde armies with 120 models on the battlefield? We're going to be discussing all of those, what each army is about, and give you at least a decent run through of every single faction to allow you to make the conscious and intelligent choice on which army you want to play if you want to get into the tabletop of Warhammer 40,000. But first, before we start, I need to show you something. So I own an absolute boatload of wall art all across my...
Yeah, I was about to ask, is this his house? Please note this video came out during the 9th edition. Right, we're on the 10th edition now, yeah. So there's stuff in there that doesn't apply to 10th edition. Yeah. Makes sense. I mean, this is from 4 years ago. Yeah. Bricky has been blown away by basically being the gateway for VTubers to get into 40k. Something he wasn't going for or expected. So funny, yeah. I have been sucked in as well. Oh, Age of Sigmar is a sequel to Warhammer Fantasy. Gotcha. We're honestly only a year away from the 11th edition. Wow. We're zooming. Oh, they usually go at a 3-year cycle? Gotcha.
My house I received from cons, and so when I was contacted by Displate to sponsor this video, it was like an immediate yes. Anyway, I wanted to show you the ones I got because Displate is the sponsor for this video. The first one is a wonderful one from the Coen brothers, No Country for Old Men. This is probably my favorite movie of all time because I am a messed up human being and I like the dark, depressing shit. However, this one, I love it.
Warhammer!
It's very simplistic and it shows off the simplistic poster art that I tend to enjoy a lot. Now, past that, I actually got one for my mother because she
Bricky's
is
a black hole.
Huge Stephen King fan. So I got this
My mom is too.
Pennywise one.
She loves Stephen King.
And the third one I got actually was from fellow YouTuber Vadi Vidya. You may know him. He did Dark Souls content and, well, From Software content in general.
Oh,
and
the metal posters?
I can't show you it right now because I got the extra large version.
Oh, no wonder they look super thick. They're literally metal. Oh, okay. Metal posters with magnets for on the wall. Oh, that sounds really nice. They're kind of pricey, but I hear they're good quality. Okay. Yeah, I've never heard this before. Metal posters. Damn.
Because I wanted the big one of his. It is a absolute gorgeous piece. It is just as nice looking in real life as I expected.
I have several. They're great. Nice.
After I ordered 3 separate displays,
I need more wall art, to be honest.
I immediately received 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extra ones, and then change. And I kind of start realizing why they wanted a Warhammer video so much. Orcs. Gotta have orcs.
Oh my god.
Sisters of battle.
It made a sound when he tapped it. It made the metal sound. One's like thunk. Actually, I am so lazy to put up wall art just because I'm I don't want to frame it. I don't want to do the thing where I have to put nails on my wall and put it up. So the fact that you could just use magnets sounds really nice.
We'll be talking plenty about them today. Angels of Death in all their glory. More Angels of Death in all their glory. And a Drukhari, I don't know what this is. Is it an Archon? It might be an Archon. I don't play Drukhari, but obviously Dark Eldar. I need those spikes. I get the spikes. I love the fact that you can just slap it onto your wall with a magnet with no fuss. And
that's
especially for someone who was renting a place, and I know a lot of you have had those experiences with landlords where you try to hang up wall art, you put a nail into the wall, and they're like, ooh, is that a 2mm hole I see right there? That's $300 out of your security deposit.
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
So thank you very much, Display, for sponsoring this video. I would highly recommend checking them out. They make absolutely fantastic stuff. So check them out. They're in the description.
Do they got anime posters?
Let's continue with the video, starting off with a couple terminology you should learn before we actually get super deep into it.
First
things first, there's a thing called Forge World. Forge World is actually a lore thing with the Adeptus Mechanicus. However, what it is actually a partner to Games Workshop. Forge World makes these kind of custom minis that aren't in the codexes specifically. However, you can use them and field them in your games. They're just generally expensive, kind of a little bit weirder. They're a little bit more bizarre, and sometimes fan-made creations.
I'm so excited. I love seeing this stuff.
Forge World is a side company of Games Workshop that makes 40K. I might mention them a few
They
times.
look so
I wanted
cool.
to go ahead and tell you about that. They're not used a ton, but
They're so expensive. Holy shit. I'm just looking at them. $325.
Might mention them a few times. I wanted to go ahead and tell you about that. They're not used a ton, but
How
they
big
are
are
something
they?
you can use. Next, I want to tell you about hitting numbers. So if I ever say something like, oh, this army hits on
Sheesh.
3s or 4s or 5s, what I'm saying is if they hit on 3s, that means if you roll a d6 and you throw it out there, if you get a 3, 4, 5, or 6, anything 3 or higher, then you hit your shot. You've landed onto your target. If I say they hit on 4s, it's 4 and up, 5s, 5 and up, etc. And finally, we have things called stratagems. I'm going to mention those a few times. Stratagems are like special abilities you can use after having a pool of command points that you get for building your army. And you can kind of dole those out, these special abilities,
Money
stratagems,
time.
as you wish. You ever played Command and Conquer, Red Alert 3,
FW
or
models are
perhaps,
mad
Kane's
overpriced?
Wrath? My personal favorite was
Gotcha.
always Kane's Wrath. You know those little abilities on the side of the map? It's like those. Let's start off with the #1 best army you should collect for a new player. Space Marines.
Space
Before we get into
Marines!
tactics,
I think when I was looking at like the introductory Warhammer sets by I think Games Workshop, I think they had a set with Space Marines and Tyranids. I think I was eyeing that one just because it like comes with paints and stuff, which I was like, okay, that's nice. You know, it's like a all-in-one sort of. And I don't think you need glue either. Yeah. And the price point wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. Yeah, so I was eyeing that one.
before we get into how they play, I want to remind you all of the most important rule, the golden rule of collecting Warhammer. You will always have a better time with the army whose lore you like and design you prefer. Always buy the army you think are the coolest. If you like undead...
That's so true. I 100% like agree with that for Gunpla as well. Like I buy what you think looks cool to you. Yeah. There's no better answer, you know? You do need glue. Oh, do you need the glue for the starter set too? I thought that one didn't need it, but maybe it does. I don't know. Push fit honestly still works best with glue. Oh, gotcha.
Egyptian space robots that have enslaved gods as weapons. Buy the damn Necrons. I don't care if Necrons are S tier or F tier, buy the damn Necrons, okay? If you love Viking aesthetic and you love Space Marines, get the damn Space Wolves. I don't care if they're S tier or F tier, get the army that you love the lore and the design of first. Nothing sucks more than playing a meta army that some people might not even want to play you against because you're going super power gamer and having to paint and create an army that you don't like. Play the army you think is the coolest. Golden rule.
Yeah. You need to take playstyle into account too if you intend on playing the game. Honestly, though, I feel like that could follow, though. Like, I feel like if you like something, you'll be passionate enough to learn how it works. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, obviously, there's, like, exceptions, but... yeah. Since you already do Gunpla, you probably already have Tamiya Plastic Cement, which is great for Warhammer Minis. I actually don't have that. For Gunpla, I don't do any of the customize. I don't do any customs. Well, so far, like, I don't do any. So, you know, I just cut them up and put them together. So I don't really have any of the other, like, stuff that you can use on custom. Yeah, I so far I've only done vanilla Gunpla building. Yeah.
Okay, Space Marines. So the poster boys of
Gunpla doesn't need
Warhammer are our
glue,
first faction today, and
for
I
the most
know
part.
when I said that the best army to collect, all the new players are like, oh god, not the Space Marines, the generic ones, and all the veteran players are gonna say, oh god, not more Space Marine players I gotta deal with, and the tournament players are already ready to hire a hitman to kill me. But I'm sorry.
Are they the most common?
I agree, Space Marines are right now, but they really are the best army. If you are a new player, Space Marines are your best bet. They are the...
They even have games. Yeah. There's a Space Marines game. So I'm guessing they're really popular. Hello, Mimi. Thank you for the raid. Welcome. Hello. Hope you had a good stream. Welcome on Twitch. Thank you for the raid. Hi, I'm Emuri. I'm the Calabi housewife from Glitchless Dreamers. Riri is my manager. Hope you had a good stream, Riri Otsu. We're watching videos on Warhammer 40k right now. I'm trying to learn a little bit more about the tabletop game. I literally almost checked out Warhammer for the first time today. You should, yeah. Why didn't you check it out today? Was it a time thing? Maybe. I hope you find a chance to check it out some other time. Yeah. There's a lot. Yeah, Mane-san checking in. Hello, and I'm streaming to both YouTube and Twitch. Feel free to catch me wherever you like. To those that just rated, thank you. How many managers do you girls have? The heck? Each gen has their own manager. I believe. So Riri is the Dreamers manager for my gen. She's about to be corrupted by the Warhammer addiction. It's so over from my wallet, Riri. My budget, my budget is gonna go to Warhammer and Gunpla. You can get a lot of Space Marine models secondhand for cheap. Oh, I didn't even think about buying secondhand. That's actually a really good tip. Yeah, reasonable for Warhammer standard. Space Marines are the poster boys and the top sellers. Gotcha. I recommend Tamiya extra thin plastic cement. Then okay. I know Tamiya has a lot of tools. Yeah, for kits.
Best army to collect if you are a new player, and let me tell you why. Number one, Space Marines got all the lore. They got a monopoly on lore. They easily have the most fleshed out backgrounds of any of the characters or factions in Warhammer. Space Marines have the most books. Space Marines are a huge part of the Horus Heresy.
No wonder they're the poster boys.
Space Marines will always have the most, and they have the most depth to them. Number two, Space Marines are very easy to paint, especially for new players. When you get Space Marines, you have a ton of variety of chapters, and they all have a ton variety of colors. And they're also pretty easy. Space Marines are also very large, or at least larger than normal, so their canvas size is much bigger. Smooth.
Oh no, I accidentally misclicked. I need to watch I need to find where I was. I need to watch painting videos as well. I need to do that for Gunpla too. I have no idea how people paint those. Okay, I found where I was. I really want to try painting minis. Me too. I do as well. Yeah, these do look fun to paint. And you could like pick what colors you put on them as well. Yeah, Stim is Virus's manager and Riri is the Dreamer's manager. Yeah. Evening Moody and Chad. Whose business? Hello, welcome. We're watching a video on what is the best Warhammer 40k faction / army to start with by Bricky. I've still got a ton of things I need to paint. Actually, the backlog is so real. eBay can be your friend with Warhammer. Oh, eBay is the best secondhand reseller. Do they not like jack up the prices or anything? Like. Can you trust the prices you see? I guess you still have to do your own research, but yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I associate with eBay. I guess just because I come from other hobbies, I associate eBay with like people like unnecessarily like jacking up prices like crazy. Yeah.
Or at least larger than normal, so their canvas size is much bigger. Smooth armor, much easier to paint,
smooth
especially
armor.
their vehicles. And the paint schemes are easy. Ultramarines, blue, White Scar, white, Imperial Fist, yellow, Salamanders, green. It's extremely easy to paint Space Marines. And for a new player, I would highly recommend them for that specific part because the painting and building is a massive part of this hobby. Number 3.
When are we going to get the Fate lore breakdown? Hey, Tofu! Fate lore! Oh my god. I guess, like, the first video I think about when I think Fate lore is probably Giguk's video on it. Maybe we could watch that together. It's been a while since I've seen it. Oh, I would also pick the Salamander Marines mono. Yeah, from Space Marines. Yeah. I like them. I like them for not the lore reason you mentioned though. I like them just because they're green initially. I'm like, I love green. Oh, you want me to make a Fate Lore breakdown? I don't know if I can. I don't think I even understand the entirety of the Fate Lore. I definitely do not, actually. Yeah, this is bricky. Oh, eBay can jack up prices for rare kits, but it's also where folks sell entire pre-order armies in bulk for decent prices. Oh, eBay's only bad if it's a brand new release that scalpers bought en masse for big bucks. Gotcha. I guess that makes sense. Sisters of Battle are a pain in the ass to paint, and they're not even the worst. No, I like Sisters of Battle though. I like how their figurines look. Oh, that sucks that they're pain to paint, but I guess that makes sense. They do have a lot of I guess maybe it's because of their shape too. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe a lot of details. I'm actually painting a mini right now. Have fun.
Marines are always getting new models. They are always getting equal attention from Games Workshop. Even if they have just been updated, they will get updated again and again and again. And the Harlequins and Dark Eldar players are crying in a corner, but we don't care about them because I got a new Primarchs Lieutenant and he's got a skull shield. I don't know. They're always getting new models, and while it might be a little excessive at times, they will always be updated and your rules will always be changing, and therefore it keeps it very fresh if you're interested in playing them. Number 4, you have...
Yeah. Bibbidi boppity, your breathing is now a manual activity. That's crazy. Warning, it's tricky to paint white and yellow and get it to look good. Oh, it takes a fair amount of practice and effort. Gotcha. Oh my god, I think I'm gonna suck at painting. But you know, everything's a learning process. A lot of people love salamanders. They might actually get their own specific miniatures soon. Oh, they don't already have their specific miniatures? I didn't know. Nair, thank you for subscribing for 2 months. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you so much for the support. I'm learning about the Warhammer tabletop miniatures a bit.
A vast amount of data sheets and units at your disposal. See, in a codex, you have a part after all the lore of it, after some of the keywords and art pieces and stuff, you have the data sheet section where it goes over all of your units and what they do and their stats and everything, their special rules and so on. And when you get to that spot, however many units an army has depends on, well, you know, how many pages of data sheets is it. Take the Adeptus Custodes. They have a very small amount of units, and their standard codex of data sheets is only 11 pages long. Sisters of Battle, however, a little more medium force. They have 19 pages of data sheets. The Imperial Guard, they have a much, much larger amount of data sheets because they're such a large army. They have 39 pages of data sheets.
Is it harder to play the more data sheets there are? Or not necessarily? It's just because, like, I'm like, that's a lot of reading. Yeah. Salamanders has one very old character model, and that's it. They don't have their own special detachments or units beyond that, unfortunately. No, but I like the salamanders. What am I supposed to do then? Do I just get the old ones, maybe? I don't know if they're even available. Oh, data sheets means you have a lot more units to choose from. Oh, it depends. More sheets are more options, but also a chance for more good and bad units. It's so much decision making. So many options to pick from. But I have like choice paralysis. Is that what it's called? I don't know. Like, the more choices I'm presented, the harder time I have picking. Gives you a lot of variety, but you can build easy lists to play with a lot of the same units. It's actually better. More to choose from. Okay. Yeah, it's a lot more reading and memorization. It do be like that sometimes.
Space Marines?
How much does Space Marines have?
56.
Damn!
56 pages of data sheets for different kinds of units. It's a little bloated at times because of the amount of characters and stuff, but still, they are all over the place. Their variety is endless, and it is being even more updated and added as time goes on. Which brings me to number 5, and the most important of them all. Space Marines use every phase of the game. See, in Warhammer, there are phases in each turn.
Yeah, I want to learn about this.
We're just getting into 9th edition, so we're getting something called the command phase soon, which is fine. But then we have the movement phase, psychic phase, shooting phase, the charge, fight, and then morale phase. Now, the last 3 are kind of all packed into one, if I'm being perfectly honest. But the main thing is that a lot of armies might utilize some of these phases a lot more often.
This looks so fun.
Grey Knights are very big in the psychic phase because they're all psychers, and so they really have a lot there. While Tau don't have any psychers, and they won't even use that phase, but they've got really damn good shooting. However, they don't have any melee, so they're not going to be using the charge phase. Whereas, say, Slaanesh demons will use the charge and psychic phase plenty, but they won't be doing any shooting of like any kind, pretty much. The Marines, they will use
psychic phase doesn't exist anymore, by the way. 10th edition took that away. Oh, they have cut down on them in the 10th, unfortunately. Oh, okay, so now it's less. I guess it makes gameplay faster, maybe? 10th edition has cut a couple phases. Gotcha.
Use every single phase, and you can't get good at the game and get good at the phases unless you're able to use all of them. And that's where Space Marines really shine. You can play them however you want in any kind of role. See, if you are running, let's say, an Iron Hands or Imperial Fist army, these are both shooting-based armies. But you can still have good melee. Where if you wanted to play a more melee-based army like Space Wolves or Blood Angels, you'd still have good shooting units. You could still do plenty in the shooting phase. That's the most...
Oh my gosh, I just realized I forgot to update the sub to 26. Give me a second. 26. Yeah, because of Nair's subscription. Okay, there you go.
Important part. Space Marines will use every single phase, and they are very, very good at it. So that is the main 5 reasons why you should be playing, or at least you should try collecting Space Marines. And I know I don't need more Space Marines in tournaments, but it is the best decision. They're good to paint, they're good to collect, they're always getting updated, they got tons of units, they use every phase, and you can tailor them however you'd like. Plus, and this is kind of down the line, but eventually after playing them enough, you might...
Zin, thank you so much for joining membership. Thank you. Welcome to member dayon. Arigatou. Thank you for the support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I had the alert sound off, but I just turned it back on. I turned it off earlier just because I got gifted a lot. Okay, there we go. Yeah, welcome to member dayon. Enjoy the emotes.
Understand which army you'd want to collect second. If you start collecting a little bit of Space Marines, you start realizing, oh wow, I really think I'd prefer having more models on the table, or I wish I had tougher models. Then you can go for Tyranids or then Adeptus Custodians. It helps you figure out your second army a lot better. If you're a new player, you want to get interested in it, just do this. Go online, get yourself either, or check eBay, because there's tons of offhand Marine stuff on eBay.
Gotcha.
Get yourself a pack of Intercessors or maybe a tactical squad. I'd say Intercessors because they're more modern, they're newer and more meta, and they're bigger for better paint canvases. Put them together with some glue, get some paint on them, try them out, and try getting into the game that way. I think it'd be a pretty smart and a pretty solid idea to get someone new into the hobby.
Okay.
And Space Marines just really are one of the better choices right now. Okay, whew. Now
Still need
that
the paint,
I'm done sucking as much Marine dick as your brain, let's move on to the rest of the armies. And my personal favorite army at the current moment, the Imperial Guard, or the Terra.
Yeah, it's so hard to remember the kind of the Latin-esque names. Spoonie, see ya! Thank you so much for hanging out today. Take care. Have a good rest of your day. Oh! Yest layer? Or is it pronounced yeast layer? Oh my gosh, I don't know. Yeast layer? Maybe yeast layer. Thank you so much for joining Member dayon. Welcome to membership. I appreciate the support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alright, we're at 28. Thank you so much. Paint is another can of worms. Best brand for the money is Army Painter. Okay. Thank you for the recommendations. If you have spare money, there's also painting service out there doing the job for you. Oh, that could be nice if you want to like commission something really nice. Could ask the artists. Airbrushes help a lot. Oh, okay. Yeah. I will say don't feel pressured to get expensive paint. I use Walmart paints and they do just fine. That is so valid, you know? Whatever works. And sometimes, you know, you got to work on that budget. Yeah. You can make anything work. You don't need to jump into a hobby and get all expensive stuff. It's so true. And it's probably better not to if you're just starting out as well. These are good tips. I probably would play salamanders, to be honest, if I could afford it. I want to play salamanders too, maybe. Is it expensive to get the older kits? I don't know.
The Imperial Guard. The Imperial Guard are my main army. They are what is known as a gunline horde army. Whereas
to play
orcs
something
and
else.
Tyranids have a horde army that has shooting but's more melee based, the Guard is going to be running 60 to 100 infantrymen, support walkers, artillery batteries, aircraft, drops. They've
got tanks. Okay, another thing though, to be honest, I'm also very interested in the orcs, you know? They go unga bunga. I'm interested in how they play as well. Yeah, so maybe them too. I don't know. They seem fun. And when they hit hard, right? You just gotta get lucky so that they hit. Yeah, unga bunga funny boys. Yeah. Orcs are super fun, and you can build orcs out of pretty much any box. Yeah, I'm interested to see what he says about the orcs.
Troops, tanks.
I might be leaning towards them as well.
The Guard is all about just blistering firepower. Now, however, the downside to this is that the Guard, while well-trained, are only 4-up well-trained. They hit on 4s, and they also do not have very good survivability. Guard stuff tends to be rather fragile. They very rarely have any special saves to keep them from taking any damage. Most of their stratagems aren't based around survivability, but in fact more firepower. Guard don't shoot amazing with their 4-up accuracy, but they make up for that with just sheer amounts of numbers of shots. I don't care if my tank hits on 4s when I've got fucking 3 of them. If the Marines are like the pristine Swiss Army knife where they can do anything and they have a little tool for every situation, Guard are like a Swiss Army knife that's about 10 times as big and attached to a big wooden stick that you just beat the shit out of people with. Your units are squishy.
I like imagining that.
Great, but you've got so many of them that you just take people out by drowning them in gunfire. As for collecting,
orcs are a lot of models, so can be tiresome to build. Oh, maybe they'd be best played in tabletop sim where you don't need to build the models. Orcs can be a bit expensive for playing since you need many of them, but they're pretty painless to paint since the skin doesn't need to look realistic to look good. Oh, someone on Twitch says, Shika says, orcs are very easy to play but a bit difficult to paint. Differing opinions. Oh, I guess it really depends on how you want it to be painted. Tried looking for unpainted Space Marines and all the ones I'm finding seem already painted. Really? I saw some Space Marines kits on Amazon, though, I think, when I was browsing. I run multiple armies, Tyranids, Guard, Death Guard, Space Marines. Welcome! Hello, Angel Death! Thank you for first-time chat! A bad orc paint job is just lore accurate. Yeah, we can just say it's lore accurate.
The Guard, it's a little bit of a mixed bag.
Start collecting.
Their models are a bit older than I'd like. I personally think that they could use a decent amount of updates. They do get updated plenty rules-wise, but since they've got so many different kinds of units and so many Forge World options, a lot of them are a bit old and are showing their age. As for collecting them in the money side, they're pretty expensive. You're going for a Horde army, so you're going to have tons of models on the playing field. That being said, I still do love them. I love their lore and their design. I love the large swaths of infantry, and I personally think they are pretty fun, if maybe not the greatest army as a main army. The Adeptus Mechanicus.
Depends on the standard you want to paint them to. Game ready is easy, competition grade is rough. competition. There's a competition grade. They have their own painting standards. I guess that makes sense, but wow. I wonder how strict it is. Oh, so you can't just like take whatever the heck you painted to competitions. Like you have to make sure you're following competition guidelines. Oh, that does add some difficulty to it. Doesn't take much to get a model looking decent. And when you have a large amount of them on the table, the details become less important. That's true. Yeah, the cool part of like Warhammer is seeing all the models on the table. I feel like I've seen like a couple like shorts already showing like a big like Warhammer 40k like army, and I was like, wow, that's so cool. Like how do you even keep track of the gameplay?
Mechanicus are the war cult of Mars. They are very weird, and I've been over how weird they are plenty before, but they are probably one of the wackiest
I didn't know
armies in the
there was
game.
a paint code for competitions.
The Adeptus Mechanicus have a lot of really weird back and forth styles when it comes to their gameplay. They're mainly a shooting army. I'd say they're about 75% shooting, 25% melee. However, they do have a couple dedicated melee units that can hurt pretty bad, but they're much lower on the tier list compared to the amount of gunfire they can bring. They hit pretty well. They generally hit on 3, sometimes 4s, depending on if they're using mechs or their own current bionics. But they do definitely have some of the wackier stuff. The entire army has...
Who hits on 1s and 2s? Oh. I don't know if he went over one that already hit on those numbers and I missed it. Oh. There are painting competitions, but most gameplay tournaments have basic requirements of 3 colors, no gray plastic showing, and some kind of basing material. Oh, gotcha. Oh, there's a big painting competition called Golden Demon. Oh, okay. It's a competition called Golden Demon where people spend the better part of a year on one miniature or a set of miniatures. Oh, I guess it makes sense as painting specific competitions as well. Like Gunpla also has like, you know, like a custom competition. Yeah. But okay, at least for the tournaments, like it's like only a few rules.
The 6-up invulnerability save, so occasionally you get some pretty clutch moments when you start taking damage and you roll a couple dice and you get a couple 6s and you can shrug off like full-on missiles and stuff. So that is pretty cool. Like one of their base weapons is a really regular kind of crappy carbine, but if you roll a 6 for it, it does double damage, which can actually be ludicrously powerful at times. Then you've got the weird robots, the Castellan robots, that they are these giant like World War I mech.
I love robots. I love mechs. They look so cute. I love those. I don't know if I should be calling them cute, but they're kind of cute. Yeah, I like it when they look nice and round. Oh, I like them chunky. Custodes hit on 2s. Oh, 1 is an Automus, 2 is Orcs. Oh, the Orcs hit on 2s too? Custodes hit on 2s and they're pretty much the best shooting. Oh, okay. Amogus bots? No, don't call them Amogus! Don't call them Amogus now. I can't unsee the Amogus. If something hits on 2s, it means anything 2 or higher counts as having hit. Oh, gotcha. Nothing can hit on 1s. Okay. Gotcha.
Dudes that have a refractor field, so if they block off shots with their reflector invulnerable save, it'll launch back damage towards the enemy, which can be kind of crazy. They're very strange. They definitely are quite strange. Much more shooting over melee and definitely fun, and has some great looking characters. Belisarius Call might be one of the best models in the entire game. Super cool looking too. A bitch to paint though. Oh my god. And that does
oh my god. Yeah, actually so true. Like look at that. How are you gonna paint that? With a lot of time and patience. Nothing can miss on a 6, nothing can hit on a 1. Gotcha. That does make sense. Imagine painting that. Yeah. I like how the red cloak stands out. In contrast to the machinery, it looks really nice.
Cool looking too. A bitch to paint though. Oh my god. And that does lead me
Orcs
to the
hit on
collecting
5s
of
usually?
the AdMech part itself. They're actually getting a lot more
Takes
newer
a lot to
updates
get
lately.
Orcs to
They're
hit.
actually one of the newest armies as well. They came
Just
out
roll
only a
good.
couple years ago. All their stuff is in plastic and it looks really damn good. I personally think that they have some of the best aesthetics in the entire...
That looks like... It looks like the airships you see in like, was it Ghibli? Yeah. It looks like stuff you'd see in Ghibli, like in Castle in the Sky and stuff. なんかジブリでこれっぽいやつあったよね。ジブリの作品で。Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen this in Ghibli. Something similar. Oh, Da Vinci inspired flyers. Yeah. I guess Ghibli took inspiration from Da Vinci too. Yeah. Da Vinci looking at planes. Yeah. Yeah.
Game.
The wings.
The only problem is that painting them
they look like fish.
is going to be a real bitch. I would recommend trying to do some of the simpler stuff, like maybe the Dune Crawler, before you get into things like Call or a Tech Priest Dominus, because wow, is painting that going to be really damn hard. Cost-wise, they are getting a bunch of new units, which is great, but generally when you get new units, they're very expensive, and whenever new stuff comes out, it tends to be a bit expensive. The army isn't a horde, but it's also not an elite army, so they're probably in the mid-ground when it comes to price range. However, I would recommend them to people who like some kind of wacky antics and
they
some
look really
weird
nice, though.
abilities and weaponry, because AdMech has been getting better and better as time goes on, and they're pretty dang cool to collect. So mid-tier price, maybe a little bit more expensive, but their scopes look great and they're very new, and I would highly recommend them. Next up, you've got the Adeptus Sororitas, or also known as
here we go. Sisters of Battle. This is definitely an old vid. Yeah, it's from 4 years ago. AdMech used to be the most expensive army for the meta build about a year ago. AdMech is still very expensive. They're extra expensive now. Gotcha. 1,500 euros retail price. Sheesh. Often an airbrush can handle like 80% of your painting needs. AdMech with all their metal on red bits are raising the digital bird at this.
the Sisters of Battle, my second favorite army, though I will be honest, they are really coming up to overtaking the Imperial Guard. I love my Guard, I love my Cadians, I love my Tempesta Scions, but the Sisters of Battle, they're really cool.
Their aesthetic is
from
nice.
A lore perspective, they're just insanely religious, zealotous nuns. That already is just really dang cool. As for the tabletop, they're one of the closest range armies in the entire game that isn't a full-on melee army. They're a slow-moving, like advancing gun line army with some actually horrifying melee units and just some like ridiculous close-range firepower. The Sisters are probably one of the top 3 hardest armies to play, I'd say. They've got some really weird antics as well.
I like close-range combat.
Maybe not quite as wacky. This army can be played in almost any way as well. You can do this a full gunline army or a full melee army, or 50-50. Everything is viable. They do require a lot of finesse and manipulation because these are all low toughness sisters that do have good armor, but when you've got a low toughness like they do, and they're not necessarily the most powerful when it comes to the actual punching, they can actually be shot off pretty quickly. So you need to be really smart on how you maneuver them, because you've got a super short range, kind of squishy army at times. That can be a little bit challenging to get through. That being said, people are sleeping on the power of Sisters. Let me be the first one to say it. You are all sleeping on how strong this army is.
I feel like they'd be popular though. Are they like not as much as a popular pick? The Sisters Miracle Dice just got unnerved. Oh, so they're like more powerful now. Their faces are so hard to paint. Thank God you can give almost all of them helmets. Yeah? You could give them helmets? Nice. They're a super popular army. People do love Sisters. Yeah, that's what I thought too. Faces are hard to paint, especially the eyes. Yeah.
This army, if played
They're
well by a
popular-ish
smart
now.
person,
Yeah, makes sense.
will crush.
This is from 4 years ago, so like over time, I guess they got more popular.
As for the actual collecting of the models, Sisters are the most recent army, at least as the time of making this video, who have had a complete army overhaul. For a while, there were no plastic system
they got
models
nerfed
whatsoever,
recently?
but the entire army, besides I think one unit, got a full overhaul of models. Everything is brand spanking new, and they probably have the best looking models in the entire game, in my opinion.
They had a plastic release.
Incredible, that crazy gothic kind of Catholic nun.
I love
look.
that aesthetic.
I mean, come on, they're tank. is a pipe organ.
I love the tank. I love the tank so much. Would I paint it? Probably not. But this looks so hacking sick. Yeah, I think I really like their aesthetic. Yeah, it looks wild. I have the tank. Nice. Oh my gosh. And look, it's the creepy angel babies. They're not even angels, but yeah, the carrier babies. What I forgot what they're called.
Missile launcher. It's a pipe organ missile launcher. Sisters are one of the coolest looking armies in the entire game. They are a bit expensive though.
Yeah, the cherubs.
That's the one downside is that because this entire army is brand new, it is brand new with a brand new price tag. So I personally love them. They might soon become my favorite army. I can't quite tell yet. They look great. They're a little expensive to collect. They have lots of different kinds of abilities, both melee and shooting. No psychic phase, but they do have some shenanigans to stop other people from using the psychic phase. They're pretty cool, but they are really hard to play, and they take a lot of practice. So kind of up to you. I would say not a very good starting army, but they are pretty neat. All right, Grey Knights. I heard you like the psychic phase. If you like the psychic phase, this is the psychic phase for you. Grey Knights are Space Marines X2. They're super mega duper elite Space Marines that are all Psykers. They're nuts. Grey Knights are insane. They are very, very elite.
Rip
However,
psychic phase.
You have probably like maybe 40% fewer models than an average army will have. All of their dudes, however, are scary in their own right. They all hit very well on 3s.
That's so sad.
They all have great armor. Since they're all Psykers, they're really good at dealing with other Psykers. They also have great shooting.
07s in chat for the psychic phase.
And very strong melee. All of your guys have extremely powerful melee weapons. The only downside of Grey Knights is that any anti-Psyker shenanigans can really harm them, and you are running an elite army with very few models. When you run very few models, that means every time you're rolling and you roll those ones, it hurts that much more. Grey Knights, though, they have this awesome kind of old school knight round table aesthetic with them all carrying things like halberds and falchions. They've got holy text and they carry books around and flags, but they do get to use every phase as well. Lots of psychic, and then they're shooting and a ton of melee as well. Mainly psychic and melee.
Nerds.
In terms of buying them, they're not too bad actually. They're probably one of the cheaper armies as well, because when you're running an elite army, not as many.
I really like the banner the guy in the lower right is holding. Yeah. It looks like actual fabric. Holy shit, they painted that well.
Models on the tabletop, so it's a lot easier to fill out your entire army by only purchasing many or fewer boxes.
Good luck painting the banner.
As for the sculpt.
Okay, I could not paint that, without probably years of practice. But yeah, whoever painted that made it look really good, for sure.
I don't know exactly how new they are. I wouldn't call them very new. I call them
just an old
middle ground when it comes to how old they are. They're not super old, but they're not necessarily super new either. That being said,
his hammer.
If they are, say, medium old or whatever, they do look great. I love the way the plastic models look. I think they look fantastic, and I would recommend trying them out if you like a Psyker-heavy Space Marine thing. You play Space Marines and you're like,
they're
wow,
super old now?
Grey Knights. No competition. Infantry is for losers. It's big mech boy time. If I'm being honest, though, the Imperial Knights, I wouldn't recommend them. I'm just going to come out and say it. I don't think Imperial Knights are a very good army for a new player. They are one of the cheapest armies you can buy.
But look at the mechs.
While each knight in its own right is very expensive, you only need 3 or 4 to fill out an entire game's worth. And compare that to a full army, they're actually not too bad.
They look so cool.
The problem with Knights is that, as cool as they are, they want to use the psychic phase. They have plenty of shooting, though. Plenty of shooting. And they can have some really great melee. But when you're playing Imperial Knights, you're not really playing 40k. A great friend of mine said, if you're playing Imperial Knights, you're playing chess. But you have about 6 queens against a normal enemy chess player. If the enemy chess player is smart, they can easily beat your 6 queens. I'm sure it'll be pretty simple for them to use their full arsenal to beat you. But if the enemy chess player is a noob, for instance, then there's a good chance that they're not going to be able to win, and you'll just kind of...
The noob stomper faction. I see. Cedric, welcome to Member dayon. Thank you so much for supporting. Thank you. Enjoy the emotes. I don't know how anyone is able to paint so many tiny details with a lot of patience and time. Yeah, for sure. And some tools. Yeah, I'm sure yeah, I mean, obviously the people that are building the promo picture ones, like they're like pro, the ones that are painting those. So that's why they look so good. Knights are good for a painting project. My Chaos Knight Tyrant is a model I slapped a ton of other Chaos bits onto it from the War Dogs kit. He's got War Dog heads in his legs. Oh, cool. Yeah, they have the cool factor. Look at that.
Noob stomp them.
So
That's
cool.
what Knights are. Knights are generally noob stompers or more like just a middle tier army. They're not good for new players because they don't really teach you the game, and it's not the way the game
I
is
like
really,
the colors on
these
these
meant
ones.
to be played, so to speak. I got nothing against Knight players. If you're a Knight player, it's totally fine. If you run a Knight Valiant, you have nothing but my respect. All right, get that Knight Valiant, 2-up armor, 4-up invul, Trader's Pyre. Oh, wait, you can't have both. Just have Trader's Pyre.
He's such
the
a nerd.
coolest weapon in the game. All right, but honestly, just for a new player,
too.
I would not recommend Knights. They are cool. They're great painting projects. However, if you just want to paint something, definitely pick up a Knight for that. They look great.
So nice.
You're not really playing 40k when you play Imperial Knights. You're playing a kind of a weird hybrid of it. If anything, get a normal army like say Imperial Guard or maybe some Space Marines, and then buy one big Knight and throw it into your army as an ally. That would be the way to do it, I'd say.
I want to try that, yeah. Knights are one of the cheapest factions to collect, though, if you use magnets to let you swap the weapons. Wait, that's so smart. Oh. Yeah, a lot of you guys are like, yeah, Knights. Okay. You got a 40k tournament tomorrow? Good luck! Good luck, Sidon! Sorry, I'm coughing. Choked on my spit all of a sudden. Yeah, thank you so much for dropping by. Good luck. Yeah, go shower and get some rest. That's so exciting. Thanks for watching my stream.
Character as opposed to a main army or force. This is also same for Chaos Knights as well. They do look really cool, though. They do look really cool.
I like how people painting them, like, they put their own patterns on like parts of the
this is also same for
I guess like the shoulders and like on the knee, they're putting like a checkerboard pattern here. It's really cool. Yeah.
Chaos Knights as well. They do look really cool, though. They do look really cool. Golden Boys, Golden Boys. Adeptus Custodians are the elite of the elite. This is probably one of the most elite armies you could possibly play. These guys are nuts. They hit
the transfers
on 2s or higher in shooting and melee.
Wait, what? They hit so... Oh, wow. They hit really easily. Damn. Wait, which one's this again? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Probably one. Golden Boys.
The Adeptus Custodians.
Adeptus Custodians are the elite of the elite. This is probably one of the most elite armies you could possibly play. These guys are nuts. They hit
and they're
on
gold
2s or higher.
They're golden.
In shooting and melee. They have triple the health of a normal Space Marine.
Yeah.
They have a better armor save than a normal Space Marine. They all have invulnerable refractor fields around them, which most armies do not have. They're tougher than Marines. They get to reroll 1s in the shooting and melee phase when a certain captain is near them, which means they're hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s. You absolutely murder people in melee. You've got some okay shooting. Your shooting is hit or miss, but your melee is insane, and you use about 20 models. They are literally the definition of Chad Thundercock, okay?
Chad Thundercock. Honestly, Ricky's point about playing with 6 queens applies custodians way more than knights. Yeah, I'm like starting to think like, if you're new facing this, like you'd be like, damn, they just keep hitting. What the frick? Yeah. Custodians are OP until one of them dies and half your army is gone. Oh. Is that how it works?
Chad Thundercock, if that was a human being, it would be a custodian, okay? The problem is that you only have 15, 20, 25 models in your entire army. It is absolutely crazy how powerful these guys are, but they do pay the price for it. That being said, when it comes to collecting them, they are one of the cheapest armies you can buy.
Okay, when I hear 20 to 30, I'm like, that's a lot. So like I literally don't know. So I'm guessing the other factions have way more units than 20 to 30. So is 20 to 30 like considered small? Okay, it's considered small. Okay. Like I literally like don't know like what to go off of just because like, I don't know much about Warhammer 40k yet. Okay, so 20 to 30 is small. Gotcha. Okay, so I guess like, yeah, if one of them dies, then it's like a big nerf. Yeah. It's big damage. You could easily bring over 100 Tyranid models. Oh, Imperial Guard has at least 100. Damn. I have about 100 models for my Imperial Guard army. Okay. Wow. Gotcha. But they are strong. They're really strong. It's just their numbers are smaller. Yeah, so that's the price that they pay. Cool.
So elite.
I guess it's lore accurate actually, because I remember like we were watching lore on it last week about these guys, I think, and they're like few in numbers. They're just individually like very, very strong.
As many things to purchase. You don't need as many models to have on the field. So buying custodians is much cheaper than your average army. It's an elite army, and also they're much easier to paint in my opinion because they're so big, because they're like 2 feet taller than a space marine.
Yeah, can of gold spray paint.
Canvas for your painting, and they're almost all gold. Gold isn't that hard to paint, I wouldn't say. So they're good for painting.
Okay.
They're not very expensive. I would say they're not bad at beginner army, if I'm being honest.
He's convincing me.
They're pretty cool. They have a nice kind of power fantasy to them. But as an elite army, every one you roll is gonna really hurt. So that's something you should be worried about, or warned about at least. They are pretty neat though. I'm not gonna touch.
Guys, simply just don't roll ones. Just don't roll a 1. It's that easy. Yeah, you just need a can of gold spray paint. Yeah, this is where the airbrush comes in. Okay, yeah. Honestly, I really like gold too. I like how it looks. Oh, I wish it was that easy. Just simply do not roll a 1. I'm being sarcastic, obviously.
On the Assassins, Sisters of Silence, or Inquisition too much because they're not really an actual army. The Assassins are really damn cool. There's 4 of them, and you can pick one to add to your army as you see fit. They all have different things they do and specialize in. A sniper, a horde clear, a kind of confusion specialist, and an anti-psyker character. Cool, their scopes are really nice, and since they're only single characters, not too expensive, but you really can't make an army out of them. They're more of a supplementary character. The Sisters of Silence just recently got an update to allow you to field them with custodians, which is awesome and super cool, and is actually kind of a big part of them because the Sisters of Silence are big anti-psyker, but they only have maybe 2 kits, 3 kits in their entire...
they don't have a lot, right? But also this was from 4 years ago. Has that changed? For the Sisters of Silence? My Tyranid standard 1,500 army has about 200 models. Whoa! My main army kills itself on 1. That's crazy. You absolutely cannot roll a 1. Sisters of Silence is still very lean. Not really, no, sadly. Okay. Sadly, didn't change. Oh, rip Sisters of Silence.
Army, and that's about it. They're not really worth collecting in their own right unless you're already collecting custodians. And the Inquisition are a whole bunch of just little characters, basically. A whole bunch of named characters with cool abilities, which are neat, but not really something that I would try to get a whole bunch of. Look at all 3 of those things after you're already starting collecting another army, and you're like, hey, I kind of want an assassin. Throw an assassin in there. Unless you're playing custodians, then check out the Sisters of Silence, because the custodian's biggest weakness is psychic, and the sisters do a great job at cutting that down. All right, let's move on to Chaos. So we got the Chaos Demons to start off with. Chaos Demons follow one of 4 gods: Khorne, Tzeentch, Nurgle, or Slaanesh Big Titty. With Slaanesh Big Titty, you're going for melee and fast. You are all
with the power of Big Titty. We will zoom and hit hard.
Melee, you've got no shooting, you got good psychic spells, but
you're
running in there at Mach 5. Papa Nurgle is slow.
Okay, but like, to be fair, the Sisters of Battle, they got Booba too. Well, Papa Nurgle!
Oh, but tanky as hell. Tzeentch, a little bit in between, but tons of psychic spells. Khorne, no psychic. Melee hits like a truck.
Live fast,
Pretty much
die
all
hard.
Of
Well
the
said.
Chaos Demon factions are glass cannons and very heavy into melee. You got some good Psykers for about 3 of the 4, because Khorne I don't think has any. So there is still plenty of variety in there, but what you're doing is you got a whole bunch of big glass cannon demons that run up and just break your face. That's Chaos Demons in a nutshell. They all have their various traits. Slaanesh is fast and hits a lot of times. Nurgle is tanky. Tzeentch is Psyker. Khorne hits really hard. Pretty simple in that sense. But overall, Chaos Demons, to collect them, they're not something you would really collect by themselves. You would ally them in with things like Chaos Space Marines, which we're going to be talking about in just a moment. But as an army in their own right, don't try to make a demon army. I wouldn't say.
Crazy.
They'll teach you a ton of the...
Whoa, he's got so many crevices. Yeah. Yeah, shading on this looks so insane. Yeah. What a cutie. Yeah, he's like nice and round. He's hot, yeah? Are you guys into this? Damn, he's thick. I mean, if you like them big and if you like them chunky, right? Yeah, biggest chungus.
Game, and they're a little bit limited because you have to stick with one Chaos faction normally. If you want to ally in multiple things, you're probably going to need some Chaos Space Marines to go along with it. And with that, let's talk about that. Chaos Space Marines, you're kind of getting the butt end of
Chaos Space Marines.
Games Workshop. They don't really seem to like you, Chaos, that much. I don't know why. A lot of your models aren't very new, and a lot of them are expensive, and your rules aren't that great most of the time, with the exception of something that happened in 7th edition with Chaos Demons, apparently. I heard it was a very, very strong codex. Chaos Space Marines are very similar to regular Space Marines, but they're much more focused on melee combats. You still have shooting, and it depends on which faction you're going through as well. But while you do have your shooting units, it is generally more melee-based, I'd say. Demons in their own right, and Chaos in their own right, want to run in there and start breaking.
Oh, I like the colors on these ones, like pink and teal. Pink-esque, I guess more like magenta. Oh, he's also huge, like the size of a softball huge. Oh, damn. That might make it a little bit easier to paint, maybe? I don't know. Aw. We have some great stuff now. Okay. This no longer applies, though. Okay, 10th edition CSM is very strong and very viable now. Okay. Aw. Emperor's Children just got new models. Oh, Emperor's Children are the purple ones. They recently got new figures. Nice. Oh, these guys are Emperor's Children. Okay. I like the color scheme. Yeah, they just had a whole refresh. Nice. Okay.
Face. That's generally their MO.
And also they got the avatar arrow on their heads.
For Chaos Space Marines, it depends on what legion you're joining, but overall there are a ton of different ways for you to go ahead and get about completing your objective. The Death Guard and the Thousand Sons, I believe, are the most fleshed out. They both have their own codexes. They both have their own special units, especially Death Guard. Death Guard is very recent, and both of them allow you to field a Primarch, which might be one of the coolest parts about them. You can run Mortarion or Magnus the Red, both gigantic, beautiful models that are just awesome showpieces to have. They get shot a lot, but once they get into combat, oh man, do they cause problems. As stated before, you should be building what you like, of course. What you enjoy is the most important part of it. But as for Chaos, it's really, you gotta like melee combat, and you gotta like different kinds of allying, probably. I'd say Demons not Demons, but Chaos in general isn't a great faction to start off with as a new player, because you need to understand the intricacies of how to do army building and knowing what you're running a little bit more prevalently. And so I'd wait on doing anything Chaos related, at least until they get a solid update.
This guy looks crazy. Oh. Angron and Fulgrim are also playable now. Oh. What most people don't realize is the shape and detail of miniature helps painting. Washes very thin paint goes to recesses and gives shadows. Oh, and these edges are easier to paint with brush. Okay. Yeah, I guess you wouldn't know until you try it. Oh. Yeah, the chicken of change. Chicken. Kairos Fate Weaver, our two-headed chicken of doom. One head sees the future, the other sees the past. Neither sees the present. Oh, wait, that's really cool. Oh.
Or someone teaches you, or you get a little more into the hobby. With the exception of Death Guard. I think Death Guard is in a good place for a new player because Death Guard is pretty cool. But besides that, they're a little tough. Okay, let's talk about some Xenos, starting off with the Space Elves, the Eldar. So the Eldar are definitely a more glass cannon-y kind of style group. They are the first Xenos race we're talking about, and there are a couple of versions. There's also the Drukhari and the Harlequins. However, the Eldar, they are strike hard, strike fast, and get out of there immediately. So the thing about Eldars, what would happen is they would fly out of somewhere, immediately gun down with extremely high-powered weaponry, hitting on threes with some kind of BS stratagems, if I'm being honest. And then they can zip back into cover and really annoy you. Honestly, Eldar probably have some of the more powerful shenanigans when it comes to the game.
They're so colorful. They got the whole like rainbow color scheme.
They have lots of weird rules. Their stuff hits extremely hard. But of course, once you fire back at them, if you live, they will crumble under a slight breeze to an extent. If you play Eldar, you won't be making a bunch of friends, if I'm being honest. I'd say Eldar are top 3 most aggravating enemies to fight against. People don't like fighting Eldar a whole lot. Myself included, I find them to be quite aggravating.
But they seem
But if you're that kind of person who likes zip in, zip out, and be all kind of trickery and sneaky, they're definitely the army for you. They're definitely more shooting and psychic based. That's the two main things. They've got some good melee, but mainly shooting and psychic based. As for collecting Craft World Eldar.
Yeah, you tell them. Skill issue. Yeah. Skill issue, dayon.
I'd say that they got some good sculpts. Some of their models
keep
look
playing
pretty good.
during your turn.
Nice plastic. A few of it's a little bit older, but you don't need a huge army. So when it comes to the money side of it, not too bad. I'd say the financials for it are pretty dang solid, and I wouldn't call them an expensive army to collect, at least not from my knowledge. The Dark Eldar, or the Drukhari, are like Eldar cranked up to 12.
They look like cactuses. I say that, in an endearing way. Yeah. Oh, cute little cactuses. Cacti. I guess it's not cactuses. It's cacti. I don't know. The Elder got new models recently, too. Oh, nice.
They're faster. They can hit harder at some points, and they have really good melee units. Their melee units can actually be really scary, but they are also doubly made of paint.
Okay. The neon-esque blue looks so good against that black. It looks so nice. Yeah, I love how like everything's like outlined. Yeah.
They're also a lot harder to play.
This is a nice
They're
color
probably
scheme.
top 3 hardest armies to play, along with the Sisters of Battle. And that actually goes on to the Harlequins as well. Harlequins are an army that just don't collect Harlequins.
They scare me.
Being honest, they're not a great choice. They have barely any models, and they're really weird, and they have a lot of shenanigans if you want to pull them off. If you're a new player, I would not recommend Harlequins at all.
They're creepy.
Dark Eldar, and Harlequins, speedy.
I don't like clowns.
Hit like absolute trucks, and not too expensive, I wouldn't say. Drukhari, I think, is a little bit more expensive than the other two, but not too pricey because you don't feel a ton of units in your.
Do not try to paint the checkerboard. It's a form of self-harm. Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, the details on that are crazy, but I don't know how they got it to look so clean. Yeah, Dark Elder players love paint because their models are so pointy they hurt to handle. They keep stabbing themselves when they move the models.
Your armies. Moving on, we got Tyranids,
you gotta wear like
bugs. Yeah,
you gotta wear those like finger covers or whatever that I wear when I like do like needle felting. Yeah, you gotta wear those when you handle them. Oh yeah, true. Decals could help. Yeah, make it look clean.
Bugs.
Tyranids!
You gotta love those bugs.
There's a bunch
so many
of them.
Bugs. The Tyranids obviously are a horde army. It should be very obvious. They are also a melee horde army. Whoa, I know, call the presses. You are mainly spending your time in the melee phase as well as some of the psychic phase. You got a lot of good psychers in the Tyranids army, funny enough. You've got some pretty evolved and advanced bugs. And your melee phase is as it seems. You have really gigantic gargantuan creatures that eat everything alive, or you've got 40,000
They're
little
so
boys
freaky.
that eat everything alive. You do actually have some somewhat good shooting too with your Exocrine and your Hive Guard. You can put out some pretty decent
Bugs
shots.
with big shooters.
They are definitely the kind of army you run if you want big swaths of just these angry little running bug dudes that just swarm on your enemy. It's literally called the Tyranid Swarm. As for price-wise though, I'd say they're actually very, very expensive to collect.
Oh,
Their
what?
sculpts are,
I didn't know.
some are a little bit older, but not all of them. They're a little bit in between when it comes to the actual date release for their sculpts. I'd say they are a bit older, though they are expensive. They're expensive, and you're running a horde army, so that's definitely one of the top more expensive armies to collect because, come on, tons of bugs,
I guess that makes
tons
sense.
of models and older sculpts.
When you need a lot, I guess it makes sense that it like adds up like crazy. Yeah. You can build Tyranid armies with so many models that it would almost be impossible for certain armies to have enough shots to kill you. You just need a lot. Oh. Tyranids is probably one of the most terrifying armies out there. I think a bug swarm would scare me the most. Yeah, honestly. You need to buy more bags to carry them. I didn't even think about the transportation aspect. Yeah, alien roaches. It's hard to get rid of them. I played the Tyranid deck in Magic yesterday. Nice. Is it good? Oh.
Can be a little bit of a challenge. Genestealer Cults. You want to play bugs, but you want to play human bugs with scrotum heads. Genestealer Cults are a very new addition. Very, very new. And they run in this almost as weird as AdMech style army. They're very fast, they hit really hard, and they like dip underground, they crawl from underground, they hit you
Look at these
with
baldies.
very powerful short-range weaponry and super strong melee attack, and then they kind of run away and they like hit and run tactics. That's probably the best way to do it. Hit and run tactics, they come out of the ground, they spook you, they do a bunch of damage, they run away, they got some weird psychic spells here and there, they run these like makeshift Mad Max trucks and stuff. They definitely have a unique play style. They deploy strangely, they like to zip around the place kind of strangely, and they definitely are one of the more unique armies there are. Would I recommend collecting them? No. They kind of fulfill a niche, but they're not that like overarchingly special, I'd say.
I mean, if you want like a bald army.
I don't know what the word is exactly, but they are a very specific play style for a very specific player. If you're running Tyranids, you might consider doing Genestealer Cults, but at that point, you already kind of know what you're doing, so I don't think I'd recommend this to a new player. Genestealer Cults and Tyranids both a little bit rough to recommend to a new person because they are very expensive, both of them. And while the models for Genestealer Cults are definitely a lot newer and that's much nicer, they need practice. They are definitely a harder army, and I would recommend waiting on those if you're a new player. Orcs!
Orcs, let's go! They're also the body horror thing. If you don't like that. Oh, okay. GSC have a lot of skin and detailed guns and also many colors on their models. One of the hardest armies to paint. Damn. Yeah, the orcs are here. The boys. I was very curious about the orcs.
Orcs. Now, orcs. I would say orcs are great if you like the Horde army.
They do look hard to paint.
Having
Oh my
RNG
gosh.
dictate your life. So orcs hit on 5s, as I mentioned in my last video. However, if you roll a 6, you get to make
to be
another
fair,
attack
everything looks
with the
hard.
weapon. Everything from the little pistol to the giant rocket launcher.
A noob.
You can have a rocket launcher that fires 3 times, and if you get lucky enough, you can have it fire 5 times. But the main thing that you're probably going to be jumping with orcs for is the giant green tide, because their melee ability is pretty humongous. They have very weird gunfire. They got their...
Dude, the yellow. Oh, that looks so cool. Honestly, they look like... They look like construction machines, like that color scheme. And thank you so much for the raid, 10 Rose. Welcome. I hope you had a good stream. Thank you for the raid on Twitch. Hi, everyone. I'm Emuri, the cat-loving housewife from Glitchstar Streamers. I'm streaming to both YouTube and Twitch. Nice to meet you. Watching videos on Warhammer 40k right now. And right now we're learning about the orcs for the tabletop and the miniatures. Yeah. Hope you had a good stream. Thank you again. Painting minis is kind of like coloring books, except 3D. Yeah. They're surprisingly simple to paint, honestly. Really, really. Orcs are less of a coin flip army intense, but still fun. Honestly, I don't mind coin flip, like, army, though. Like, obviously, like, I guess in a competition setting, it'd be really annoying. But if you're just, like, playing casually, I feel like coin flip can be really fun. Like, I don't mind leaving it up to gacha. Yeah.
Weird weapons and their strange rules, the daka rules to allow them to get all these extra shots, and they can even have some pretty dang good shooting with things like shock attack guns and daka jets and stuff. If orcs hit on 5s and shooting, they hit on like 3s in melee. Orcs love to beat the hell out of each other, so it's very obvious that once they get into melee, they'll just start pounding on you because they are really good at hitting stuff. In fact, I might be speaking a little bit too hyperbolically when I say R.
Who is the coolest space marine? The salamanders. In my opinion. I saw that. I wanted to stop by here. My friend got me into these Bricky videos and Adeptus Ridiculous like a year and a half ago. Nice. Daka is a sound effect they use for gunfire. Oh, gotcha. Oh, it's pew pew for orc. Oh. Also, which one was Adeptus Ridiculous again? I don't remember any of the Latin-esque sounding names. Oh, this is a creator. I thought it was a faction and I just forgot what it was called. Okay. It's Bricky's podcast. Oh, okay. I looked it up and I was like, wait a minute. Okay, that's Bricky's podcast. Got it. I had no idea. I know he had a podcast. I didn't know what it was called. Yeah. Okay. Now I know. Oh. Yeah. Okay.
RNG controls your life with orcs, or RNG controls your shooting, but your melee is actually pretty dang good. They've got a special ability called Here We Go,
Shy's
which allows
podcast
them
that Bricky
to
is on.
re-roll
Okay.
their charge dice, which is a very rare thing and extremely powerful buff. Getting into melee has never been easier if you're an orc.
I want to do melee. Poor Hammer is another great podcast for Warhammer. I love that name. Poor Hammer. That's too real.
As for collecting orcs, expensive. Probably the most expensive horde army there is.
Really?
Probably more expensive than Tyranids or Guard or anything in between. They have sculpts that are sometimes new, sometimes very old.
Oh no.
You have cool new models like
them
Gaskell
though.
but then you got a whole bunch of really damn old orc models because orcs have been around forever. Their codex in their own right is pretty neat, and there's some pretty good models in there, but orcs just, they're showing their age, and you need a shitload of them. And they are very expensive for that reason.
Damn.
So they're expensive to collect, and you need a ton to collect a good-sized army. But playing them, if you like melee with some really fun shenanigans and a bit of RNG, I can see why someone would like orcs, because they're orcs. Come on, they're great. Let's talk Necron.
I think maybe I'll try playing them in tabletop sim if I get the chance then. Yeah. This is a hobby that can really run your wallet dry. Oh yeah. Especially with the number you need for your army. Rip my bank account. Yeah, poor Hammer indeed. And here we go, Necrons.
So the Necrons, if I had to pick a Xenos army, I'd play Necrons, honestly. Necrons, I mean, they're just so cool. Undead, Egyptian, skeleton robots that carry enslaved gods into battle. How is that the coolest thing ever? So Necrons are fittingly named about necromancy, but not like the undead homina necromancy, but like necromancy through metal. So the way Necrons are is that they are kind of a slow-moving, at least some of their units slow-moving, gun line with some mixed-in melee units. Not all their army is melee, but their melee units that they have are actually like really scary. But for a while,
I do like their pyramid. Oh. When did you decide to check out Warhammer stuff? I started last week. I decided to check it out because I'm like into Gunpla and I like the kits, and I was interested in the Warhammer 40k kits as well. So I was like, yeah, maybe I'll check it out a bit.
Necrons are kind of slow-moving Terminator-style guys. They just blast you away at a distance with some very powerful weaponry. They kind of have Space Marine stat lines, actually. They run about as many models as Space
Egyptian
Marines. They got
aesthetic
similar stat lines
cool.
and similar weaponry.
Oh, yeah, and Byzantine.
I say that they're actually
Byzantine.
quite similar to Space Marines in the terms of how they play. But they actually do have a lot of weird shenanigans that make Necrons their own. For instance, the main thing that you might want to pick Necrons for is their reanimation protocols. Special ability that, let's say you got 10 units of your base Necron unit, warriors, for instance. You got 10 Necron warriors, your basic troop choice. Your opponent kills like, let's say 7. Kills 7 of them, you got 3 of them left. Their turn ends, your turn starts. You then roll a dice for every dead model. So 7 models, 7 dice. And for every 5 or higher, you automatically get one of your models to just stand right back up. Your Necrons go like,
that's cool, that's cool.
Your vehicles regenerate health as time goes on. You have special abilities to maybe make your Necrons come back on a 4-up instead of a 5. You can reroll your 1s.
That is a really cool skill.
It's all about getting your units to come back up and being like, if you're fighting Necrons, you better kill it. Because if you leave it wounded, it's going to repair itself, and that's not a very good thing. That's the idea of Necrons. They got good shooting, they got good melee, and honestly, now is a good time to be a Necron player. They are getting a massive update right now. This is right before 9th when this video is coming out, and they're getting...
Look at the size of that thing! What is that? Yeah, I really like the whole setup here. I like the pyramid, I like the, various size dudes. Greed, hello on Twitch. They're still good, yeah. They just don't die. That's so fun though. Well, not fun to fight against, but fun to play, I think. High initial investment to play the game. I would say it's not the most expensive hobby. You pay what you pay on 5 years of Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Magic the Gathering in a year, but after that you only pay for what you want. So again, just high initial investment. I see. Yeah. The lore in 40k is absolutely insane, and these minis get crazy expensive. Yeah.
Huge new model ranges, a ton of just new units in general, massive updates, rule updates. Necrons are getting big additions, and I think it's going to be super great. Now is a good time to be a Necron player.
The Void Dragon Katana is top 3 model in all of 40k, and the Silent King is another, both on the screen now. Oh, yeah, over here? Yeah. That's awesome.
Edition. Stuff might be a little expensive to collect because it is new stuff. That being said, they're not an elite army, but I guess they can be played an elite army if they wanted to, but they don't have a few models, they don't have too many models, they're nice in between, and now is a damn good time for it.
I like how this model shows the dude, like, he's like sucking, I don't know, the blood, the life force out of the poor guy on the ground there. He's sucking. He's sucking him up. Oh, it looks really cool. Yeah. I didn't even notice. Yeah, that dude on the ground, he's just getting wrecked. Yeah, brain juice.
Models, they don't. At least we have the Tau
Empire.
The Tau Empire is...
here we go. The Gundams. They look so out of place. It's so funny. Like, just all of a sudden, light mode.
For people who want to gun their opponent down with the most sci-fi hardcore Gundam giant mech stuff you can think of. You want to have your entire enemy obliterated off the board through just the unrelenting volley of railgun shots and rail rifles and fusion blasters.
The weathering details look so good.
See missiles, giant homing missiles blot out the sky as it rains down on your army because the Tau players got 40,000 missile
The
pods
weeb
in all of
faction?
his characters.
Well, I'm a weeb.
He's got flying
Perfect for
drones
me.
to fire laser sights to mark them, to have better accuracy, to block shots, and your big battle suit will be rolling up, and then a drone will come in and block a missile from it. The Tau are definitely more of an Eastern-inspired, definitely a Gundam kind of look to them, and they are just ludicrously powerful in shooting phase, and
they're the only army to regularly use camo. These are parade colors. Oh, I didn't know. Cool. Oh. Yeah, cool thing with Tau being so out of place makes them more alien looking in my opinion. Yeah. Oh. Guard and submarines also use camo. Oh. Painting the white is also self-harm. Tan looks just as clean and is 1,000 times easier. Oh, tan sounds good too. Yeah.
also have tons of special abilities to stop your opponent from getting to you in the charge phase. The Tau has no melee. Their melee is straight garbage. When a Tau infantry
No
start
melee.
punching, it means they've lost. And you might think to yourself, wow, Berkey, this sounds great and aggravating. Yep, that's about right. The Tau get a lot of shit. Some of it warranted, some of it not so warranted. The models in their own right definitely don't fit very well with 40k. They're much more of a sci-fi Gundam style thing compared to a gothic, grimdark sci-fi fantasy. However, I do think they do look pretty cool in their own right. It's just kind of weird in this universe. But when you've got an entire army whose whole job is to blast you away from incredible ranges across the map, and every time you even try to retaliate, they either gun you down when you try to charge, or they block your shots with drones, it can be pretty aggravating. That being said, there are really cool new ways to play Tau, like close range attacks with Cold Star battle suits and the Farsight Enclaves, which, by the way, if you ever use a Cold Star battle suit, or a Cold Star commander, I suppose, or a Yavara, you have my respect. So you do have different options when it comes to Tau instead of just sit back and fire. But you definitely don't got much melee. You definitely don't got much melee.
Crude are the melee specialists and their silly last update. Oh, they upgraded it? They're fish people, so they're sushi, kinda. I love fish. I love sushi. Crazy that 3 new armies have come out since this video. Yeah. The Tau do have some melee now and no longer are so restrictive on your enemies. Okay, that's nice. Everyone smack talks the Tau, but aside from the brainwashing they do to induct other races into their ranks, they're probably the closest to a good guy in 40k. To me, they look more Star Wars than Gundams.
Suck at melee. But if you just want to gun people down and the only phase you care about is the shooting phase, you don't care about psyche, you don't care about melee, you just want to blast people, Tau is definitely for you. As it comes for collecting them, their scopes are pretty good. They're not entirely super new, but they do look great. They have a whole bunch of different kinds of mechs, big and small. They got drones, big and small. They got infantry units and everything. They do look...
Oh my gosh, do you hear that? It's my cat. Oh, my cat is meowing like crazy. Oh, I think she's throwing up. Oh my god. Okay, let's finish this video and I'm gonna go clean it up. I think she's throwing up outside my door. She meows before she throws up. She announces it to the whole world. I think she's hacking a hairball. Yeah, poor thing. Poor thing. Aw. Maybe it's I don't know. I don't know if it's like shedding season. I have no idea. Yeah, she's been a little constipated recently. Yeah. Okay, let's finish this video. I'm gonna go clean that up. Oh no.
Solid, high-tech, and their scopes do look nice. They're also, I'd say, not too expensive. You don't need a ton of them, and the battle suits themselves are expensive for each box, but you only need so many of them because they are very expensive when it comes to the points cost in the game. So Tau are on the middle level of the expensive tier. Whew, that was a lot of talking right there.
Yeah.
That covers it, though. That is every army in 40k for you trying to figure out which army you want to play. I will reiterate, Space Marines, they are the best. I know it kind of sucks for some of us, but trust me, they are the best. I would highly recommend
like mainstream,
it seems. Get a box of Intercessors.
Space Marines.
Check out the rules. Paint them up maybe. 9th edition is coming very, very soon. It looks extremely promising, and I think now is probably the best.
9th edition! And now we're on the 10th. Oh. Watching my sister's cats, and one of them has stomach issues too. Yeah, one of my kitties has the tummy issues. Yeah, she doesn't have a strong tummy. Hope your sister's kitty gets better. 小エムリー、ウォーハマーって世界だと人気だけど日本だと全く名前聞かないから未だによく分かってない。エムリもそうです。いらっしゃい。Welcome いらっしゃい。ねえ、なんか日本だとね、ガンダムとかだもんね。なんかモデルキットだと。Yeah, Warhammer is something like you don't hear about in Japan at all. Yeah. So, being the weeb I am also very new to all this.
Time to be jumping into this hobby. I want more people to be a part of this
Space
community,
Dwarves.
to be a part of this fandom. I think it is exciting. I think it has a little something for everyone, and I don't want anyone at all to not feel welcomed, not on any basis, not on basis of age.
I wanna learn about the Space Dwarves, to be honest. I think they're really cute. I wonder if there's a video on them. Yeah, we're 10th and next year will be the 11th. Damn. We're zooming. So much has changed since this video already. There's a big Warhammer store in Japan, which is weird because it isn't that popular that there is. 日本で実はね、大きいウォーハマーの店があるらしいよ。知らなかった。大阪にあるらしい。It's in Osaka. Oh. You live in Osaka? That's so cool. I was visiting Osaka, like a few weeks ago. I didn't know there was a Warhammer store there. There's a Tokyo Warhammer store with a cafe. 東京にもあるみたい。Okay, next time I need to go check those out. Next time I'm there. I had no idea. I thought there was nothing Warhammer in Japan.
Sex, gender, race, I don't give a shit, okay? I don't care who you are. I want you to at least give it a shot and be a part of this group with me because I would always love new people. And honestly, there's no reason why you shouldn't have a good time along with the rest of us. So, yeah. Thank you so much for watching this video.
That was a good
video.
video.
It was a pleasure having
that was
you
really
here.
Fun.
Check out this plate in the description, please. They are the wonderful sponsor for today's video, and they were actually quite wonderful to work with as well. And plus, with so much Warhammer stuff, I'm sure you can find something that you can definitely decorate your wall with for a decent price as well. As for me, my name has been Bricky. I have a Patreon if you'd like to support me. As you can see, all the names flying up on the screen right now. These are all the people on the $10 or up tier who have decided to help support me on my videos. You are all absolutely wonderful. And I want to give a special shout out to my top 3 patrons currently, which are Big Papa Nergs, which is so
Big Papa Nergs.
Drunken Legends, the absolute crazy Texas man, and of course Krieg the Psycho, which is a wonderful Borderlands reference. 3 of you are on the top tier for Patreon, and I really do appreciate it. I wouldn't be able to make this many videos without you guys, and it is wonderful having you here. And I see you on the Twitch stream all the time, so I know you guys. I know you around. It's good. I'll see you soon. Besides that, if you want to check out my Twitch stream, I stream multiple times a week. It is in the description. I would love to have you there. We can talk a little bit Warhammer or anything in between. Just play some games. And finally, if you're interested in copying some merchandise like the one I'm wearing, or maybe just get a little bit of bee stickers up in your world.
Yeah, new video tomorrow, right? He's dropping one.
I don't know what video I'm making next. It might
we
be
should watch it next
but
week.
I might hop on more 9th edition stuff when 9th edition comes out. Perhaps I'll even make a video on how to play it. But until then, thank you so much for watching. My name's been Bricky, and the Emperor protects. Bye-bye. What's
the video that's dropping tomorrow? Do we know? Do we know yet what it's gonna be about? Yeah, good video. I'm gonna be real. I kind of the lore is cool too, but I kind of really enjoyed learning about the little kits more, the little miniatures. But I think it's because I've seen the lore videos already that it made it, I guess, easier to follow. Yeah, good set of videos. Yeah, maybe an update of the timeline and faction, but only rumors. It's so funny. I just watched the faction and timeline videos. We could watch the updated ones too. Oh, he's addressing a lot of issues with the first one. Okay, it's about time for update though. It's been 4 years, right? And updated every faction explained. Ooh. I want to learn about the dwarves. Yeah, I want to watch his tournament videos too. Yeah, okay, guys, I need to go check on my kitty, and also I want to take a quick break, maybe bathroom and snacks. So I'm going to be gone for maybe like 10 minutes-ish. And then when I get back, we can watch this one. I want to watch this one next. Things I wish I knew before starting Warhammer on a budget by Squidmar Miniatures. Yeah, I want to see more stuff about the miniatures. So yeah, we can watch this next one. I'm back since it's a shorter video. So if you'd like to see more, stick around a bit. Yeah. Yeah, time to feed kitties. Well, not time to feed them, but time to clean up the mess, right? I'm gonna go feed myself real quick though. Get a snack. Yeah, so if you guys need to take a mini break too, you guys should go do that. But I'll be back soon. Yeah. Let's watch it without her. You're so mean. No, wait for me. Okay. VRV. Thank you everyone so much. Thank you. Thanks for coming to my stream, but I'll be back. So stick around for more. Okay, break time. I'm back. Thank you for waiting. Oh my gosh, that was quite the mess my kitty made. Honestly, I was a little worried, but hopefully she got it out of her system. And also she likes to do her she likes to throw whenever she throws up, she likes to throw up on the carpet, which makes, cleaning a little bit more difficult. But anyway, I took care of it, and then I had my snack. I had a banana and some crackers. So, yeah. I'm ready to go for perhaps this video and maybe another one. And yeah. Get dinner after. Yeah, typical cat, Sometimes you just gotta let it out. Hope your baby's doing okay. She seems perfectly fine now. She was like begging me for snacks, and I was like, let's wait a bit. You just threw up. Let's give you a snack maybe a little bit later. And thank you so much for the raid on Twitch. Welcome in, raiders. Hello, I'm Emuri, the Calamy housewife from Glitchers Dreamers. Nice to meet you. We're watching Warhammer videos today. Wait, comment, paste. This is a non-violent raid. Are you sure? Why do you have to specify that? I wouldn't have assumed it's violent. Hello. I'm streaming to both YouTube and Twitch. I like to play violin, build Gunpla, and also play visual novels. Yeah, I've been trying to get into Warhammer too as well, though. So yeah, I'm still learning about a lot of stuff. I was gonna watch some videos on the kits. And also, Trough, thank you so much for the membership. Welcome to Member dayon. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. Thank you. Also, I forgot to, honestly, she's probably at the point where she ought to play some on Tabletop Sim to get a feel. Try before you buy, Yeah, I do want to try playing on Tabletop Sim. I kind of want to try playing Orcs on Tabletop Sim, because I was gonna say, I forgot to mention what kits I guess I'm the most interested in building. And I think I'm most interested in playing the Orcs, but I don't know about building, just because, you need a lot of them. So I might be interested in trying to play them on Tabletop Sim or something. In terms of building, though, I kind of want to maybe try building, I think either the Custodies, just because I really like the gold. Maybe the Imperial Knights. I like the Imperial Knights. I like how they look like big robots. Or, what else? Or Space Marines, I think. Yeah. One of those. Yeah. Oh, you can get the Orc Kill Team. It's just one squad. Oh, let me look it up. Orc Kill Team. Oh, yeah, you're right. Look at them. Oh, I'm also interested in the dwarves, just because I like dwarves. I know it wasn't covered in the video, but I really like dwarves. So I might also be leaning towards those guys, the space dwarves. I think their beards are really cute. Oh. Yeah, I just don't know how they play, but I'm very interested in them. Hiwagi Emur. Fun fact, wearing headphones while changing brake pads is a bad idea. Should I ask why? Hope you got those brake pads changed safely. Kill Team is a different game that uses the same models as 40k, but you only use one squad. Oh, okay. So does that make it easier just because you have less units to play with? Like, does it make the game shorter? Maybe? Yeah, I'm just curious. Yeah, to be fair, for building and painting purposes, the kill teams might be the best way without committing to an army. Yeah, okay. They're just cheaper. Okay. Smaller scale skirmish game. Okay. That sounds pretty good, honestly. Amy likes beards. Write that down. I think they're cute. Oh, I think dwarves are cute. Each unit has special stuff, so not that much more simple to play. Okay, gotcha. Is the gameplay faster, though? Like, does the game end faster? Like, less units you have to move, right? I don't exactly know how the game play works yet, so keep that in mind. You don't need to move 120 orcs. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, right? Like, it should be quicker, right? Since you'd have to do that. It can take like 2 to 3 hours. Oh, okay, yeah, that's not bad at all. That's not bad, yeah. All right, let's watch this video by Squidmar Miniatures on, I guess, I think it's like on building kits, right? Yeah. And also, it's budget focused, which is nice. Yeah. Hi.
When I started painting Warhammer, I spent money on all kinds of different tools that I'd never end up using. So, to save you from that trouble, I'm going to show you exactly what I'd buy if I started painting miniatures and only had $100.
Oh, for $100?
And guys, stick around to the end because
this is what
you do not want to miss this video if you're a beginner painter. We'll even show you some alternative secret tips. Let's do this.
Okay.
We are not barbarians.
We're not?
First, one thing, because $100 in a hobby that has no limit, it's not going to get you everything. Especially if you want to build an entire army. Just one Mega Gargant will set you back $210. And to complete most Warhammer armies, you have to spend between $300 and $800. Luckily, you can find a lot of Warhammer second-hand. There's a ton of good Facebook groups for Warhammer buy-sell, and there's gaming groups in almost
Facebook
every
hobby
city
groups.
in the world. And through those different kinds of forums, I've been able to find 5 full armies between $50 and $150. When we talk about starting with miniature painting, we do not talk about buying an entire army, but everything you need to build, paint, and prepare that army to make it ready for playing. Or maybe you're just getting into it to become a better painter. So, for the sake of this video,
see more
we will
people,
assume
like,
that you
paint
already
stuff.
have a miniature purchase. And if not, maybe ask your friends. Please, sir, I want some more. Number 1. To build your miniatures, you need tools. So the first purchase, Hobby Tools Kit for $12.
I like how it said, go back. I like how it said,
so the first
Gundam,
purchase,
I
Hobby
think. Yeah, Gundam modeler basic tools. Don't worry, guys. I got these. Yeah. I got these. I don't have glue, but I got I think the rest. Yeah. So we're good here.
Tools Kit for $12.
Yeah, Gundam tools.
This has everything you need and then some. Sanding sticks, clippers, hobby knife, tweezers, just to mention a few things.
Wait.
These might not be the best tools, but if you don't have...
I don't know where I put my sanding sticks, but it's okay. We could get more.
Having it at home, it will definitely be way enough for you to get started. Number 2, you also need something to glue your miniatures together. So once you've cut them from the sprues and sanded away any flashing, we need super glue. There are more brands of super glue than I have underwear in my drawers. And the best ones we've found that are at a reasonable price are these ones from Biltema. It's sort of a dollar store, hardware store. 50 milliliter cyanoacrylate super glue and comes with an activator, and I cannot tell you how nice these are. So with the toolkit and the super glue, we are almost up 20% of our total budget, spending a total of $17.
Okay. That's not too bad. Yeah. I prefer plastic cement, but it's more permanent. How expensive is Tamiya plastic cement? To be honest, Gundam tools are often better quality. Oh, never buy the official Warhammer tools. Way overpriced. Okay, noted.
But it gets better from here. Okay, we prepped our miniatures, cutting them from the sprue, gluing them together, and now we need to paint them. But before we do, we're gonna use a spray can primer. So this will be our third purchase. My personal favorite spray can is the Vallejo Hobby Spray Paints, but there are cheaper alternatives. From my understanding, in the US you can find Rust-Oleum paints, and they are apparently completely fine for spraying your minis. And the best thing with these, if you're painting an army where 90% of the mini is painted in the same color, maybe ultramarines, then an ultramarine blue is a perfect base color, or dark green if you're painting.
Yeah, that looks so nice. Oh my god. I wanna paint that. The green. Okay, there's no way I could get it to look that good. Or unless, but yeah.
Archangels.
It
is
so nice.
Definitely a well worth investment once you're getting started. $32 spent. It's gonna be tough to stay under 100, but we're gonna do it, and we're gonna get you an amazing starting kit.
Okay. Is he gonna build it as well? Maybe. Oh, Tamiya extra thin cement is about $5. Oh, that's not bad at all. Yeah. TLDR, darker the primer, darker the paints will look. Okay.
What else do we need?
Well, we need a mug to keep our water and to rinse our paints and brushes. And if you spend money on a mug when you're getting started in this hobby, instead of one of those ugly coffee mugs that you have in your kitchen, you should not be trusted with money ever again. Do not spend your beginning money on a cup. But
yeah, why would you just not use a mug that's in your kitchen? Yeah. I mean, think about how many mugs we all own. Like, usually people own a lot of mugs, right? Like, I have a lot of mugs. I have some mugs that I rarely ever use even, so I could just use one of those.
Let's instead talk about those brushes. Because here is my take. You're going to want to buy a couple of different brushes. But we can do it economically,
some people like
and
burning
we can
cash.
do it smart.
True.
You want to get yourself a cheap set
They want
of
the
brushes
Warhammer
that
mug.
you can use for 80% of your painting, adding all the base coats, painting the bases, painting textures, all of that kind of jazz. And the cheapest one...
In my experience, white primer makes colors look cartoonish. What color primer do you guys prefer? Black or white? Is it better to get like darker colors? Black? Okay. Cheap 60-yen Tamiya brush can do the job done? Okay. Depends on the colors you're using. Okay. Depends on the situation. I guess that makes sense. Black for dark, white for bright colors, gray for either or. Oh, gray. I guess gray's versatile then. Clemeny, welcome, Sliver.
Ones I found cost $2 for a set of 10 on Wish. And yes, I know these websites are iffy and they might be produced with morally ambiguous procedures, but so are the dollar store brushes in your local dollar store. So you gotta pick your poison here. But
I guess so.
For those other 20%, you want a fine-tipped Kolinsky Sable paintbrush, a size 0 or 1 depending on which brand you buy. And if you're on a budget like we are, don't go buying the Squidmar paint set with 6 Kolinsky brushes the first thing you do, because you do not need 6
Wait a
brushes.
minute. Isn't that literally his
Paint set with...
Isn't that his paint set? And he just said don't buy it. Oh, reverse psychology. I'm gonna buy it now.
6 Kolinsky brushes the first thing you do, because you do not need 6 brushes, you need 1. And I'd get a slightly cheaper one. Look at Rosemary & Co for $10 or maybe Rubloff. Both these brands you can find a brush for under $10, which is a perfect beginner Kolinsky paintbrush. So this is the brush that you bring out after you've done your base coat and
that
your
looks so
washes,
nice.
and you want to paint those final details and all of the nice
I don't know if I could do
fine
that. My
edges
hands
of
are
your
too
meats.
shaky.
We're already up $44
My hands are
and
too
you haven't
shaky.
even talked about wet palettes yet.
And you're gonna need a wet palette, because say it after me, we are not barbarians.
Those are
We aren't?
super expensive, Emil, and you always recommend the Red Grass Games wet palette.
I know.
Wait, what is the difference between like a wet and dry palette? Like, I just assumed you dip your brush in water and get it wet and then, like, you know, paint. I don't know a thing about painting. I'm gonna learn now.
I do, but when we're getting started, you do not want to spend $55 on a wet palette.
Wet palettes are
We've
wet.
already
Okay,
talked about
yeah,
how
no shit.
irresponsible you are if you spend money on the water cup when you start painting, and the wet palette falls under the same category.
Do
You
they
have
look
baking
different?
paper at home. This is the one that's without wax. It's regular freaking baking paper. And if you're a Swede or just a normal sane person, you should have these Swedish dish rugs at home. These are the perfect sponge to suck up enough water to keep your paint moist for the entire painting session.
Oh, so you like
And if
Okay,
you don't
okay.
have
Got
a
it.
Tupperware or like an old plastic container, you know what? Then there's no solution to help you.
Okay,
with
so
it.
you set it up yourself and keep the paint wet. Got it. I was like, I didn't know if you had to like buy something specific or like, you know. Okay. Gotcha. Oh, yeah, baking paper and flat sponge. You can just use a dinner plate. Okay. Keeps out the paint from drying out fast. Oh, okay.
But this is a perfect base to create your own homemade
Ooh,
wet
DIY.
palette. Because a wet palette is really game changer when you're getting started. And making one at home, cutting out a piece, putting it in the lid, and then when you're done for the day, you can close it up like this, and you've got a perfect usable wet palette. You can find a pair of 10 of these on Amazon for $7, and you spent $1 and you have a wet palette.
I'm sure there's an
Yes,
American
at a whopping $45.
equivalent.
Oh my god, almost halfway.
Maybe.
But we still don't have any paints.
And we still don't even have anything to make our epic bases.
That is true. But let's start with the paints, because when picking out paints, there's a billion different alternatives. And there's a billion different opinions. But everyone except me is wrong. That's just the way it is. The old Army Painter paint line is not great. Honestly, it's terrible. But they are reworking it, and soon they'll have a new one that I hope is going to be a lot better. Another brand that makes terrible paints is Green Stuff World.
I can't stand them. They are terrible. It's like painting with gel.
And War Paints. They're using
That
something
does sound
called
hard
the
to
gel
work with.
medium, which is quite a lot more difficult to control for a beginner. All of these paint brands require you to add multiple layers to get a good coverage, and they are really difficult to work with as a beginner. Instead, from our testing, for a beginner, the best paints are probably Citadel, Vallejo Model Color, or AK Interactive 3rd Generation Acrylics. But I'm not
Does
gonna
anyone use any of those?
tell you exactly which paints to buy, because that is going to be very depending on which army you're painting. If you're painting Ultramarines, obviously you're going to need a bunch of blues and maybe some leather colors and golds. If you, on the other hand, are painting a Sylvanet, maybe you require a lot of dark greens. The only two colors that I always recommend you to have in your arsenal is either a matte black, personally I prefer the Vallejo one, and a white or an ivory to give you those brightest highlights. Here in Sweden, these pots cost
Yeah, I was wondering like what colors do you even get? I guess like whatever you want to work with, but yeah. Oh, Citadel is the GW home brand. Oh. Okay, Vallejo and AK Citadel only for contrast paints. Vallejo? Okay. All of them depends on the color theme. Oh, I guess depending on the brand, they offer different colors too. The new Army Painter is really good. It should be in that list. Okay. Yeah, this video's from a year ago, so I guess they just released the new one. Yeah. Okay. Citadel has a really good brown. Vallejo expresses speed paint, and AK Interactive as my usual paints. Okay. Another good paint brand is Pro Acryl from Monument Hobbies.
Around $3.20. That would bring our total up to $32 worth of paints, and that's some really nice paints.
Emil, our total is...
Wait, I think I've seen these paints before. I think they are the ones that come with the introductory kits for Warhammer 40k that I saw. I think it might be by GW. Is it? Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, these are the GW paints. Yeah. Okay. These are the Citadel ones. Gotcha. Okay, just stay away from whites by GW. Never buy white and black from GW. Okay. Yeah, it comes with Space Marines and Tyranids. Yeah, I was eyeing that kit. Oh. They're good, but a little pricey.
Worth of paints, and that's some really nice paints.
Emil, our total is now a whopping $77.
Yes, that means we have $23 left.
How about the kit?
The main thing we need now to make our miniatures look amazing is basing materials.
Oh, I guess the kit isn't included
here. Before we talk
here.
about amazing basing materials, let me mention this week's sponsor, Squarespace. Because Squarespace is an amazing platform if you want to build your own website. Whether it is for your wedding photography service or your own product, or maybe your...
Miwa, hello, welcome. Let's build kits together. I'm so down. Hold hands, kiss, and paint. Oh my gosh, I don't know if I could concentrate. I'd be so distracted. Yeah, please hold my hand. Hello, thank you for coming. Guys, Miwa is also from Glitchstar. She's from Glitchstar's Virus. She's also been getting into Warhammer. I think she also played Space Marines pretty recently. So yeah, be sure to check her out. Yeah, I'm trying to learn how to paint these kits. I know nothing about painting. Have you painted anything before, Miwa? Besties drink the paint water together. What? Huh? That's the first time I heard that one. Water. Gotta remember to hydrate, you know, even while painting. Kids, don't try this at home.
Selling a book online, Squarespace has you covered with their amazing looking, award-winning templates. You don't need any previous knowledge of how to program and design a website. Squarespace will follow you, hold your hand as you design the website.
Hold my hand?
And pretty much everything...
I want Miwa-senpai to hold my hand though. Hi, Emuri. Just wanted to say I really enjoyed watching you and the other Glitch girls fall down the Warhammer rabbit hole. Hello, Lennox. Welcome. Yeah, we're all falling down into Warhammer. We need to do a Warhammer collab soon. I use contrast for base and 2 thin coats for layer. Okay. Yeah, I mean, another reason why I picked up Warhammer is because the other girlies were getting into it. I'm like, oh, I should join. I should join in. You gotta drink the paint water to become a better painter. It's a tradition. Oh, wow. I didn't know this.
It's drag and drop. A great example for this is our website where we, as we've mentioned, put up all of the stuff that we use in videos by literally just dragging and dropping stuff to our website. We also have our web store hosted by Squarespace.
Oh, those look so nice.
Everything runs super smoothly. Right now, it's completely free to try out Squarespace. All you gotta do is follow the link down below. And when you're ready to launch that website that you've designed yourself, you can use the code SQUIDMAR to get 10% off your entire purchase of a website or a domain. And you'll be up and running with the website in no time.
Okay, let's back to the video.
And here you can spend however much money you want, but we can also be really big brain smart and save a ton of money by using things we have at home.
Don't forget a bottle of non oil. What is that? I've never heard of non oil. Non? I don't know how to pronounce it oil before.
If you're a drunk and an alcoholic, you can use wine corks
drunk
for
and
rocks.
alcoholic.
But if you're more like a normal person, you can use cork coasters to build rocks on your bases. Don't steal too many or your significant other is going to get pissed. Instead of buying sand for $10, you can go out and grab a handful at the beach or maybe at the playground and just...
$10 sand is crazy, but of course they you know, mark up the price, I guess. Okay, next time I go to a beach, I gotta grab some sand. Non-oil is a wash type paint that is good for shading. Oh, it's a dark wash from Citadel. Okay. Non-oil is the best thing since God made the shovel.
Cook it in the oven. You can also find roots from fallen trees to create tiny trees on your bases, or seeds from birch trees to create fallen leaves. This is a pack of coconut fiber that I had at home. This is something that you buy at IKEA to use in your plants. This is perfect to create like a forest ground base. And if you don't have this, you can use old tea packages and make sure that they are dry, and you can use that as forest scatter on your basing. And I've shown you guys...
I didn't even know he'd get into like base stuff here. Like I don't know, I wasn't thinking of like doing bases myself, but I do think it's really cool when people like, you know, build a little like environment around, you know, their figurines. Yeah.
Many times before how you can get free coffee stirrers at coffee shops.
Are you a goddamn thief now,
Yes, I am. And these are perfect to create maybe wooden beams, small bridges, or the beach stuff, whatever they're called.
Yeah. Yeah, most people don't go that far with minis for play. Yeah, like I didn't even think he'd cover this. He is psychotic with his diorama bases.
Possibilities of making bases on a budget are endless, but there are 2 things that I tend to buy whenever I'm building a new army. Number 1. The first one is to get a nice ground pigment. As an example, if you're making a desert base, you added the sand, you put some paint in there, but it doesn't quite look like a desert. Pigments.
Yo, look at the metallic wings. Looks so good.
Have the perfect size to make your bases look more realistic. So buying like a yellow ochre pigment for your desert bases, or if you're doing a forest base, then maybe like a dark brown one for all the mud parts. Perfect to get some more life into your minis. These ones cost...
Tournaments require your minis to have a decorated base for all your minis. Doesn't have to be good though. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
$5 a pop. And the other basing thing that I tend to recommend is grass tufts, because
these look nice.
Make your bases come alive. If you're doing a desert base, then maybe buy some dried grass tuft that looks yellow that matches with the sand you're gonna have on your base. Or if you're doing a forest one, maybe you splurge and buy 2 different color grass tuft Maybe one with flowers, and then you have a nice variation on your bases. There's a
looks
ton
so
of different
nice.
brands. Personally, I really love Gamer's Grass. These cost about $8 for a pack, and that
I didn't even know this was a thing. These look so fun to play with. Like little grass shrubbery.
will last you hopefully for the entire army, or at least to get started. If you bought one of these pigments and a set of grass tufts, we are now up to $90.
$10
which
more.
means that you've even got money to spare. And these $10 are gonna come in hand because, as I've said, if you're making a forest base, maybe you want to spend an extra $8 on more grass tufts. If you don't have PVA glue to glue your sand on your base, then maybe go to a hardware store and buy a set of PVA glue. And also, I've promised this last super recommendation.
There's an entire industry of unnecessary but absolutely necessary accessories for minis. Miniatures are a dangerous and extremely fulfilling hobby. Base decorations can go wild. My friend uses cracking paint to make lava rock faces. That sounds so cool. Whoa.
Whenever you are painting an army, there is nothing that is going to help you as much as getting an airbrush.
Really?
Yeah, here's the airbrush.
Last time I checked, the Squidmore Evolution airbrush is like $250.
Yes, it is, but you're just getting started, so you need to be smart with your money. You can find an airbrush that works perfectly okay. It is not going to be a master airbrush, but it's going to save you so much time. You can find an airbrush on Wish for $12. These are perfectly okay. They're not going to let you paint all the finest details and make you a master painter, but it is perfectly fine for airbrushing the base coats or the first layer of highlight with a zenithal spray. And a crappy compressor on the internet you can find for about $20. Just make sure that you have the right connection on the hose and you're good to go. A shit airbrush and compressor is still better than no airbrush and compressor, and together with the hose, compressor and airbrush you've spent about $40. So obviously if you buy this you're going to go over the $100 budget, but I think it's worth mentioning that if you can paint an army in 40 hours instead of half an army in 250 hours, well, you decide how much money is your time worth. And
I can't wait for my if I paint one, I can't wait for my first thing to look so bad. It's gonna be entertaining in its own way. Working on several org projects. Wow, cool. Airbrush is beyond me. I don't think I could do it. I've worked with the Copic airbrush system before. If you guys know what Copic markers are, they're used in illustration. I've used that before, but not like a paint airbrush, yeah, since those were marker airbrushes, which is very interesting, but yeah.
Because I'm a true gentleman, I'm going to link all of the stuff that I talk about in this video to Amazon links down below. The prices may vary depending on which country you're in, but
Amazon,
we've got it all listed down below and on our website squidmore.com if you ever wonder about the tools we use in videos. And with that said, thanks so much everyone for watching this video. Thanks to this week's sponsor for sponsoring this video, Squarespace. You are legendary. Thanks all the patrons again. Bye bye.
Okay, that was a fun video. Yeah, very informative. I learned a bit more about the painting process. Bye bye, Sliver. Thank you. Thanks for coming. Airbrush needs additional cleaning tools. Oh god, that is a pain. But again, part of the craft, I guess. Don't worry, the main factor in getting your mini to look good is going slow and being patient. True. Yeah. Alright, this guy has more like fun looking videos. Like, this looks fun. We ordered 10 Warhammer scams from Etsy. Etsy, oh boy. Oh, known oil. I'll never buy known oil again after this. What? You guys are saying to buy known oil. Maybe he found an alternative. Oh, YouTube's fastest painter. Oh, I've seen this guy around. Crack Duck. Yeah, he does like animated videos, I think. Yeah. Airbrush, it's like plasma weapons in Warhammer 40k. It's a repetition game. Each mini is better than the last. Yeah, it's supposed to be like rewarding. I think that video is about finding alternatives to known oil. I think that makes sense. Yeah. And then we got Gundam. I want to watch more videos, but also I might wrap it up here for today since it's already been 3 hours and a half. So if I have time, we'll be back at it next week. Yeah, with some more Warhammer stuff. I want to watch more videos on like customs too. Well, like people like painting, and I think I found like a cool looking video on a guy that did like a kit bash. Yeah, there's some really cool custom videos. Yeah. Crack Duck is fun. You seen his Fall of Cadia vid? I haven't seen any Crack Duck. Not yet, at least. Yeah, thank you everyone. I'll be streaming tomorrow. I'll be playing Class of 09 for Visual Novel Sunday. はい。明日はビジュアルノベルをプレイします。よかったら来てください。Yeah, so if you're interested, be sure to come. はい。Oh yeah, there's this other video I found that I wanted to watch. It was by Rogue Hobbies, but I think it was actually, it had Warhammer in the title, but I think it was actually a video about Gunpla. So maybe we'll save that for the Gunpla stream. And yeah, I do build Gunpla as well. I try to do it weekly. I'm going to be continuing my real grade RX-7822 2.0 Gundam on Wednesday next week. Yeah. That's the plan. Feel free to stop by. Oh yeah, and Tuesday's April Fool's, so maybe I'll do something April Fool's theme for Tuesday. I don't know what yet. Thank you, everyone. Yeah. Pete the Wargamer has fantastic kit bashing videos. Okay. Yeah, kit bashing is fun. Yeah. Oh yeah, Eons of Battle does really good eBay rescues. Yeah, I think there were a couple videos like that I found as well. I bookmarked a few. Yeah. We'll find a chance to watch some. All right, thank you guys. Thank you for all the support today. Thank you for the memberships and subs as well. Thank you. One day I'll get around to building something, and it looks like Miwa's interested too. So maybe we could do something together. That might be fun. Have a good one, you guys too. Yeah, have a good rest of your weekend. Thank you so much. Yeah, I enjoyed the videos today. Oh yeah, and I want to learn about the space dwarves. I gotta find video for that. Oh yeah, Ricky is releasing a video tomorrow, so maybe next week we can watch that as well. Yeah. Find what looks cool. That's always step one. Yeah. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you. Let's find someone to raid. Otsu, thank you. Thank you on Twitch. Thank you on YouTube. Let's see. Yeah, Glitch Stars tournament incoming. Yeah, actually though, we're all just prepping, you know? We're slowly like acquiring the knowledge, and then we should have like a Warhammer 40k event. That'd be so much fun. I would love to do it with the Glitch Stars girlies. Aw. Is anyone from GS streaming right now? Let's see. Yeah, thank you for subscribing. Thank you. Let me check Twitch real quick. Oh, is Nova streaming? I think Nova's streaming with Kana right now. They're playing Vanguard on Twitch. Okay, we could raid them. I don't know if she's streaming to YouTube, though. I didn't see it pop up. Nova is my gen mate. She plays a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! And other card games. We gotta get Nova and Mogu into Warhammer now, because I know Sunny's already like knows a fair amount about Warhammer. I think Kana likes Warhammer too. Yeah, I think she's played a couple of the games before. Yeah, is Nova streaming on YouTube? I don't think so, right? I don't see her on YouTube. Yeah. Okay. On YouTube, we will raid. we will raid Miss Bonnie. She's playing Inzoi. I was actually interested in the game because of the you can like customize your own like 3D model. Is really interesting, and you could like play around with it with face tracking. It looks like a Sims type game. Yeah. All right. Here we go. Thank you, everyone. I'll catch you guys next stream. If you're interested in Visual Novel Sunday, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Class of 09, I heard, is a very wild game. All right, bye-bye. Have a good rest of your day. Thank you so much for today. Bye-bye. Emuri da yon. See ya. Emuri. Bye.